Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Wednesday's rain was beneficial locally, mostly looking north with the brighter greens indicating over a half inch that fell. Charleston, however, not so much. Compared to average month to date, we're falling behind by almost 1.5 inches. And year to date, it's a 5-inch deficit with ongoing severe drought that expanded a bit for Thursday morning's map. Unfortunately, these areas could see worsening conditions in the next 7 days. Anywhere that's green, that's less than a ½ inch for running accumulation. And on top of that, some increased evaporation with temperatures in the 90s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday approaching daily records each day. For our Thursday evening, some areas of showers, mostly looking north. That, as well as the cloud cover, gradually erodes into the overnight hours with high pressure bringing some dry air in from the west. We'll keep some clear skies into Friday, eventually increasing clouds with a few rain chances, mostly overnight into Saturday. Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. Could be traveling to a few stormy pockets this weekend like Chicago, Orlando, Tampa, otherwise areas rising toward 90s by Sunday like us, including DC and Charlotte. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, looking north where clear skies allow temperatures into the low 40s tonight, then beginning our warming trend tomorrow with some low 70s. Looking east toward Martinsburg to stay a bit milder at 48 tonight, then 73 on Friday. Some areas shy of 40 like Clarksburg, Weston, Elkin, Snowshoe, Webster Springs. These cooler spots stay in mid-60s for our Friday, 73 for Ripley. Other areas that could fall into some 30s tonight, Marlinton, Lewisburg, Summersville. 41 tonight for Charleston, 74 on Friday. We will see some scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday night through Saturday night, lingering a bit on Sunday Morgantown, otherwise heat through Tuesday.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salengo Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. For your entertainment, Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Or call 800-765-8255. Once again, filling in for Dave Weekly is Dale Cooper.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Metro News Hotline. I'm Dale Cooper on a Thursday afternoon. Winding down my time in hosting the show. I've had a good time this week. I hope you've had some kind of good time listening to the program. I've had a good time doing the show this week while Dave's been gone. Dave will be back on Monday afternoon at 3:06, and I'll be here too. So it's not one of those situations where we're alternating vacations or anything. So Dave and I and Ryan and Matt and everybody will be back together on Monday. So that will be something to look forward to, perhaps, if that's something you want to look forward to. But for now, I am here for the rest of the week, including today's program. And we have a good show for you today. I think that we'll be able to bring that to you very well. We're going to start today with coming up in just a little while. Germain Lussier is going to join us. We have all kinds of great stuff to talk about with Germain Lussier, including one of those things where people explode over the internet over a Star Wars thing that ended up being badly misunderstood. Did you hear about that, Ryan? The issue that they had with the or no, it wasn't a Star Wars thing. It was a Marvel thing. The Punisher movie, the show that came out. There was like a special for the Punisher that came out, and everybody was dragging it for bad special effects and for a particular scene. And it ended up actually being practical effects where all they did was graph the actor's face onto the stunt double. That was the only special effect that they used, and I guess it wasn't maybe as good as they thought it was. But the actual effect was a practical effect, and everybody had it wrong because they were calling it an unfinished effect, that it wasn't real. And it was actually more real than most of the special effects are.
This is the first I've heard of it, honestly.
I saw it yesterday trending on some stuff, and made note of it, but didn't really have a chance to bring it up. And then I saw where Germain wrote about it today, so I thought we could talk about that a little bit. Plus, there's tons of stuff to get into, Germain, with different Star Wars things and stuff along those lines. We have a very special Money Minutes that's going to come up today. Huntington Bank's chief economist, Olu Omodunbi, is going to be with us, and he is going to take the turn today for Huntington Bank for Money Minutes. All kinds of things we're going to talk about: labor market, the labor market, inflation, interest rates, everything that has to do with your money. We're going to be talking about today on how Huntington Bank can help you with their portfolio managers. You can tune in at 3:45 for that. Kathy Mattea is going to join us at the top of the 4 o'clock hour for Mountain Stage. Maybe a special show for Kathy this week. There's a participant in this week's program who she's very close to, as she is a lot of people in the industry, because she's been around and is a legend in it. But I think that this is going to be a special one for Kathy. So I'm looking forward to talking to her at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. Ryan and I will get an opportunity to play Pick One at 4:33. That's something that Dave and I usually do. And so Ryan is going to take his shot at it. Did you get all your stuff done?
Yes, I have 5 crisp topics.
Nice. I got mine done just before I came down. I wrote the last one, so I'm ready to go too. I had to get it all done ahead of time, because sometimes with Dave, I'll kind of lay that off and I'll finish it up during the first hour of the show or something. Can't do that when you're hosting. I can't, or I can't anymore anyway. I can't put my mind in 2 different ways. If I try that, I just short circuit, which frankly has happened a couple times this week when I've tried to do things. Also, Amy Smith will be here at the top of the 5 o'clock hour as we're talking about the market and the money and the economy and things along those lines. Amy Smith will be with us, no longer with investors.com. She's doing some other things now. We'll talk to Amy about those, as well as her outlook on the market. And we'll play some in or out. And at 5:33, Kevin Kinder will join us. Kevin is going to be from the Kendrick Family Stadium in Morgantown, where West Virginia is taking on TCU in game 1 of 3 tonight, where they're trying to make a play for the Big 12 regular season championship, or at least to maintain a tie where they can get the first place seeding in the Big 12 tournament. So Kevin is going to be on the field just about an hour before first pitch. So we're going to check in with Kevin Kinder tonight just before we leave the airwaves and see what's going on with the Mountaineer baseball team. So I think a pretty good show as far as things go today. Got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some finance, some music, some sports, some entertainment, hopefully. That's a pretty good show if you ask me. Let's go ahead and set today's question of the day. Now, this isn't maybe as fun as it could be. I guess the pun is intended here. A new survey of 5,000 Americans is a pretty simple question. Are you having enough fun? And the answer was a little depressing. Nearly half, 48%, said their life is currently lacking in fun. 1 in 8 people can't even remember the last time they had a full free day just to enjoy themselves. The number one reason people say that fun isn't happening: money, dinero, moolah. Not enough time, no energy, also plays a role in that. But budget says it's 57%, or 57% say it's the budget that kills their plans most often. And more than half Americans say that having fun is actually harder now than it was 10 years ago, which brings us to you. What I want to know is, what is your fun drought buster? What's the thing that you do when you need to just cut loose and have a good time, no matter what, and when's the last time you did it? What's the thing that you do to have fun whenever you need to have fun, and when's the last time you did it? You can text 304-825-5304, 304-TALK-304. Ron, do you have, I know I didn't give you that ahead of time, do you have anything that is just your go-to?
I guess video games.
Right.
Given that it's like one of the 5 things I talk about on this show.
5.
Yeah. Isn't that a bit generous?
It is a bit.
Yeah.
Different genres, then maybe we get to 5. But seriously, and all joking aside, I mean, I think that's cromulent. I mean, it's completely,
whatever that means,
perfectly situated perfectly situated to the question.
Yeah.
Because I mean, ideally it disengages your brain, right? And it gives you something passive to do, so you're not thinking about the things you need to think about, but you're doing something, Yeah. So I mean, I think that perfectly is an example of what we're talking about.
I'm also a sucker for true crime podcasts. That's a weakness of mine. And everyone has one nowadays.
That is true. There's a lot of true crime out there, and there's tons of you can find.
We should start Hotline after dark or something.
And doing an investigative thing?
Yeah. Just find like weird true crime stuff to talk about.
Maybe the hook would be that it's a true crime podcast, but it's at the level of Encyclopedia Brown.
Maybe.
So it's like, who stole the pencil?
Yeah.
You know, I can tell you right now, maybe this is the series we need to do. And I guess I'm just going to vamp on this because now that I have the idea, I honestly think maybe it could work. Mm-hmm. We need to do a multi-part series on the investigation of who broke the stool.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We never did figure out who
I
broke
have photographic
the stool.
evidence. It is a mystery, and nobody ever claimed responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, we're like 6 or 7 years down the road now, and nobody. Okay, so very briefly, I'll explain the setup for this. Some time ago, 6 or 7 years ago, we went around and bought all new stools for all of our studios. This was before the remodel, so this was just one of those maintenance things that you have to do. And we have a lot of elevated, or we used to have a lot more elevated studios where you have to sit up a little bit, and regular chairs like I'm in now wouldn't work. You have to sit higher, and so it was cheaper, honestly, to get stools than like captain's chairs, and plus those things are kind of bulky to carry around and stuff. Anyway, so we got brand new stools everywhere, and they were branded as like you can't break them. You know, it was supposed to be any weight, whatever else, no problem at all. These stools are going to do your thing. So we got these special stools. We put them in the studios. Everything was fine for like a week or 2 weeks or something like that. It's like everybody was so proud. We had these new stools. Oh, they're comfortable. And frankly, what we had before was just things that wobbled and you couldn't really trust them. And so it was just nice to have something stable underneath you when you were sitting there. Anyway, lo and behold, after a weekend, on a Monday, I think it was a Monday morning, I go into our wire room, which is where our engineering and stuff is. And there's a stool in there. There's usually not a stool in there because they were assigned to studios. Or no, I take that back. I'd moved it in there. So let me retell that. I go into the studio where the stool was, which was one of our old production studios. Yeah. And the stool was in 3 parts laying on the floor. And the thing that was crazy about it, and this is why there's a mystery that's involved with it. The way that this was put together is there was underneath the seat, there were these 4 brackets, and there were brackets attached to these metal brackets also that were on the underside of the seat, and that's what kept it in together. When this stool broke, it ripped out the screws that were on the brackets, and also there were brackets around the bottom that was on the ring that holds the legs into place. Yeah, and it also bent that ring a little bit. But here is the curious part. The screws that were ripped out were on 2 of the brackets. So when you look at it like, say, east and west, the north and south brackets had no screws in them at all. So why were there no screws there? Because obviously that would have made the seat unstable. And there were nowhere in there. They weren't tore out or they didn't pop out or anything like that because it would have tore the material that it was in. And they weren't still in there. And the same thing with the circular thing at the bottom. Yeah. 2 of the screws on the opposing sides were missing while the other 2 were still in place. Like somebody removed the screws and left just enough infrastructure in place to keep the stool together. And then somebody came in and sat on it and it collapsed underneath them. And that person, I believe, this is my hypothesis, that person not knowing that the stool for some reason was meanly staged to fall apart, thought it was their fault and didn't say anything to anybody. Yeah. That's my hypothesis on the situation. But this has been a serious mystery in this building for what's been months or years now. It has really been quite some mystery. I think that Chris Lawrence is aware of the mystery of the stool. I'm not 100% sure if that microphone works. You might want to sit at the other one. That's according to Dave Allen anyway. And now we have Jeff Jenkins in here too. That works out okay. Are you doing news, Chris, or just stopping in?
Stopping in.
Just stopping in. Okay. Jeff Jenkins is here for news as well. Okay, let's go ahead and go to Jeff Jenkins, and then we'll come back and spend a little time with Chris Lawrence here as well. I think Chris might remember a little bit about the stool. We were just thinking about what kind of true crime podcast we could do here, and we were thinking that maybe we could do a true crime podcast on the whoever broke the stool. Remember that stool that...
over the years, a lot of your traffic about that. I don't know if I've ever understood it.
You never understood? Well, I just told the story. I'm not going to do it again. I'll catch you up on it later. But
yes, I actually kind of understand.
It resurfaces at every Christmas party and things along those lines because it's kind of a local legend here in the building now that stool just like got crushed for no reason at all. Nobody ever admitted to it. And I thought it was sabotage. That's why I think it's a mystery, because I think it was sabotage and somebody sat on it and broke it, didn't know it was sabotaged, and didn't want to admit that they broke the stool. I don't know. And who would sabotage a stool? But I have some fairly compelling evidence, and I have pictures. I have some fairly compelling evidence that I think it was sabotaged. I don't know.
There you go.
Okay, so full stop. Real news for just a moment here. I know it's a big news day. What's going on?
Yeah, we've at the website kind of thankfully, this turned out it turned out well. A guy was trapped in a sand hopper this morning down in Logan County at an asphalt plant, up to his waist in sand. They had to go in. The emergency crews came on the scene, did a specialized type of rescue, got him out of there. He was conscious and alert the whole time, but could have been, there was a lot of sand in there that could have even further collapsed him. They were able to rescue him. We've got that story at the website. Also, the lead story at the website is more on this, just reaction from kind of the rough and tumble, to put it mildly. The primary was, and a lot of things said, and so like today, the Senate president speaking out, Randy Smith, he thinks he's got enough votes to remain the Senate president after all that happened. Tom Takubo, also the Kanawha County senator, who was the target of a lot of these ads and survived the primary and won. He's commenting, and Senator Capito said some things today during her media call. So that's part of Brad's story at WVMetroNews.com. We've got a crime story. There was a murder over in Hampshire County. An arrest has been made. A neighbor is charged with murdering his neighbor. That story also at the website. And there were a couple of, jumping back to the election just for a second, there were a couple of really close House races. One decided by 4, one decided by, 5, 4, and 2. 3 races decided by that many votes.
Yeah, right.
And so we talked to a couple of the candidates who are awaiting canvassing that starts Monday. We have a kind of an angle on that there at WVMetroNews.com. And then a tragic story. 2 Princeton high school students were killed this morning in a car crash in a 3-vehicle wreck in Princeton.
Oh, my.
And Mercer County Schools put out a message on Facebook. It happened about 7:30 this morning on Courthouse Road there in Princeton. We don't have much more. It did involve a transit bus. There was a Bluefield transit area bus that was involved in that too. So we've posted what's available right now, and hopefully we'll get some more information on that. And then our colleague, Dave Allen, congratulations to him. He's part of the latest broadcasting class, West Virginia Broadcasting Hall of Fame, announced today and announced during the show, Metro News Midday.
It sure was.
So,
I gave him some business
congrats
cards. I made him some Hall of Fame. It says Dave Allen Hall of Fame, and it just says "woo" at the bottom, because he loves Ric Flair.
There you go. But that's what we have. Busy day, that and more at WVMetroNews.com.
Man, big news day. Thanks a lot for that. Appreciate it. WVMetroNews.com. That's Jeff Jenkins. Chris Lawrence has joined us now. How you doing, man?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Have you recovered from Tuesday night?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got a good long nap yesterday. And, yeah, twice a year, every 2 years, I do an all-nighter.
Did you sleep here? You slept here, didn't you?
I didn't sleep.
No, you didn't sleep at all.
No,
you
I
just did
got here, about 6 o'clock, and I went home 10 o'clock next morning. So.
I was literally leaving as you were coming back into work then
Yeah.
that night. It was my first election off in I think 14 years because I didn't have to be at my normal location.
Yeah, for years and years and years, they would send us out to various locations, and we would broadcast remotely at the headquarters of a lot of these major candidates. But I think after COVID, that became not a thing anymore. They don't do those anymore. And so there's not really a big party that goes along with it, which made it hard because that used to be how you would get everything. And you could really channel the excitement of what was going on at each site to the radio audience. And then when that didn't happen, then it was a little less dramatic because you'd have to get people on the phone and do it like that. But it still worked. But Senator Capito was gracious enough to come into the studio here in Charleston on Tuesday night, and so she was here. And I know that after that, for many years, I anchored the local coverage here in Charleston, and we would send you down to the courthouse. Well, that used to be where all the candidates
used to be a happening place, man.
And now they don't gather there, so it basically just became. And I think this year, Daniel and Dave took over, and so they were so much better than I was at it because Dave's got a Rolodex that he knows everybody.
He knows everybody.
Yeah.
I think the last time I was at the voters registration for my broadcast, that literally every person there was media. That was it. There was nobody else there.
Yeah, and you would think that you'd have better access to what's going on, but really you're in a sequestered room, and they're counting the votes in another part of the building, and then they will come out and they will read it to everyone. Nobody gets an exclusive early version of it. Ms. McCormick will say, here, Here are the numbers as we have them at this moment, and I'll be back with an update whenever.
Well, it was great coverage. I listened and watched the whole thing, or at least pretty late into the night. And I mean, even as an employee here, I know how the sausage is made. I was massively impressed. So,
well, thank you.
It just looks good. Can you hang out for a second? Let me take a break and come back and wrap up that hour?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be back with Chris Lawrence right after this. You're listening to Hotline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Ask yourself what you will miss more.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it. So I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer golf coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind.
And onions.
Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
You're listening to Metro News Hotline. I'm Dale Cooper. Thanks for tuning in on this Thursday afternoon. Chris Lawrence from the Morning News and West Virginia Outdoors has joined us in studio here for a few minutes. Catch anything with the Reds game yesterday?
I listened to a little bit of it. I think they played last night?
Yeah, they played last night.
Yeah, it was tied at 6 when I was coming home from church, and that's all I heard.
There's two things that I really need to talk to somebody about. I don't think the first thing you really care all that much about. It has to do with like situational bunting and stuff like that. That's like something egghead that I get into weekly with. The second thing, though, I wonder what you really, really think about. In the 10th inning, goes into extras. The Reds are down 2. They had just come to within 1. So they're down 1. Spencer Steer's at the plate. He hits a home run to tie the game, and there's fan interference. So he gets called out, the home run's waved off, and the Reds ultimately lose the game.
Did they pull a Cubs and drag the guy out of there and threaten his life?
Now Bartman was a young man. He was at the game. He was a young man, a young fan at the game. The fan interference yesterday was a grown man with a ball mitt at the ball game, leaning out over the thing, smacking at home run balls. And I mean, I think you should be a fan, but those balls should be for kids anyway. I don't know that you should be throwing yourself out in the middle of things to try to keep kids from getting balls. Not that he necessarily did that or anything, but I'm just like, you got to control yourself in those situations a little bit.
Yeah, well, I hate to dampen the fan experience by being the mean police or the fun police. Nobody's allowed to have fun here.
Well, I think you can definitely. I mean, I think there's just a point where you have to kind of be the adult in the room for it. There are a bunch of kids around you and stuff. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I really don't know what to say there, because if one came to me and I actually caught it, I'd be pretty excited.
Oh, of course, yeah. So, but I'm not going to lay into the field to try to get it.
But I'm not taking a mitt to the game and hanging over the wall and
that's kind of what I'm
trying to pull it out of somebody's glove. So.
Just in general, I don't know. It's just one of those things.
That sounds like a lot of work, and I'm really not ready for that.
And then the other part of it, man, do not bunt with no outs and a guy on second base in winning position. Don't do that, man. I'm so mad at that.
That's bad baseball.
I think so, but there's other people who disagree. We got to get out of here. Be back after this.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. An industrial accident today in Logan County when a worker got trapped in a sand hopper at an asphalt plant in Whitman.
The conversation starts.
Ray Bryant said.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Wednesday's rain was beneficial locally, mostly looking north with the brighter greens indicating over a half inch that fell. Charleston, however, not so much. Compared to average, month to date, we're falling behind by almost 1.5 inches. And year to date, it's a 5-inch deficit with ongoing severe drought that expanded a bit for Thursday morning's map. Unfortunately, these areas could see worsening conditions in the next 7 days. Anywhere that's green, that's less than a ½ inch for running accumulation. And on top of that, some increased evaporation with temperatures in the 90s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday approaching daily records each day. For our Thursday evening, some areas of showers, mostly looking north. That, as well as the cloud cover, gradually erodes into the overnight hours with high pressure bringing some dry air in from the west. We'll keep some clear skies into Friday, eventually increasing clouds with a few rain chances, mostly overnight into Saturday. Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. Could be traveling to a few stormy pockets this weekend like Chicago, Orlando, Tampa, otherwise areas rising toward 90s by Sunday like us, including DC and Charlotte. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, looking north where clear skies allow temperatures into the low 40s tonight, then beginning our warming trend tomorrow with some low 70s. Looking east toward Martinsburg to stay a bit milder at 48 tonight, then 73 on Friday. Some areas shy of 40 like Clarksburg, Weston, Elkin, Snowshoe, Webster Springs. These cooler spots stay in mid-60s for our Friday, 73 for Ripley. Other areas that could fall into some 30s tonight, Marlinton, Lewisburg, Summersville. 41 tonight for Charleston, 74 on Friday. We will see some scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday night through Saturday night, lingering a bit on Sunday Morgantown, otherwise heat through Tuesday.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
23, listening to Metro News Hotline. I'm Dale Cooper. Thanks for tuning in once again on this Thursday. Chris Lawrence, wrapping up my conversation with Chris. We stopped by here just for a little while. What's coming up on the big show this weekend? West Virginia Outdoors, 7:06 on the Metro News Network.
Still putting that together. Pickerel cut it out of a pond in Preston County, and it was interesting that he broke his own record that had stood for several years. So it was a record for length on the pickerel, and he had caught the old record several years earlier. Now, he didn't get the weight record because I think it had maybe spawned out. So if he had caught it a couple weeks earlier, he might have had both of them. So we'll hear from him. It was a pretty cool story. He hooked it, and it drug him around the pond a little bit on his kayak. So that's a cool story.
That's always great. It's always a great listen when you listen to West Virginia Outdoors. I produce it every other week. Ryan produces it on the weeks that I don't. Chris has been doing it for 30 years, 30-something years?
32, I guess.
Yeah.
1994.
32.
April 1st, April Fool's Day, 1994 was the first broadcast.
That's right. I knew we did 30 a couple years ago. I couldn't remember exactly what it was. So over 30 years, check that out. 7:06 on the Metro News Network. Podcast is online. You can find it there.
I normally come in here and just try to get the show back in gear because of weekly, but I don't need to with you. You got it covered.
No, we got it, man.
You and Ryan have got everything going in the right direction.
Hey, I learned from the best, man.
Well, when weekly comes back, I'll have to come in here and start fixing it.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. That's Chris Lawrence from the Morning News and from West Virginia Outdoors. And let's make the easy transition over to talk to Germain Lussier from Gizmodo, who's joining us on air now as well. Germain, how you doing today?
Doing well. What's up, Coop?
Not a whole lot, man. Really excited to talk to you. There's so many juicy things that we need to get into a little bit. Appreciate you joining us. Just wanted to get right into, you wrote about this a little bit yesterday. I saw a little bit about it first, but the Punisher, of course, dropped a new special that's on Disney Plus. It's getting some pretty good reviews overall. But man, I saw a bunch of stuff yesterday with people dragging Marvel and Disney for what they were calling an unfinished product and putting it out online. And I mean, it was pretty vicious for a little while. And then it ends up that maybe for once the internet was wrong.
The internet was wrong factually, but it wasn't wrong in theory, right? Yeah. So yeah, The Punisher, they released a one-shot that came out on Disney Plus earlier this week. It's a pretty brutal R-rated kind of origin story for The Punisher, just to kind of reset anybody who is getting ready for the new Spider-Man movie. And yeah, there's a shot in it where he falls off like a little ledge and onto this thing. And one of my sites said it looked like a PS3 game. And it looks really bad. Like there's no question that the effect looks bad. But a Marvel source told me, and they kind of went around the internet, that it was an actual practical effect. They actually had a stuntman jump and dive and break this thing. But he didn't look like John Bernthal, who played the Punisher. So they had to digitally replace his face. And so that's why it looks weird. But, we've seen face replacement that looks way better. So it was not unfinished. It was finished. It was just poorly
bad.
finished.
Yeah. At least it was a practical effect, though. They just messed up the, the post-production or whatever on it. How strange is it? But it's good to know the facts when you go into something like that. Your review of it, you said it was solid, but a little bit confusing. It's only 48 minutes. Is this what the fans have been waiting for, you think?
No, it really isn't. I mean, it's kind of it's confusing, not in that like I didn't understand the story. It's confusing in that it came out after Daredevil season 2, which I thought was great, but it didn't explain why he wasn't in it, and it comes out before the new Spider-Man, and it doesn't explain why he's in it. It's just like this one little origin story, which they made 2 seasons of a Punisher show that explain that very well, And so I think it just releasing it now is very weird, and to me, I just didn't quite get it. But then you think about, not everybody saw that Punisher show, and not everybody watched the first season of Daredevil. So you have this, that if somebody's like, oh, who's this character in the new Spider-Man movie, they can go to Disney Plus, check it out, and understand, a little bit of the psychology behind the character. So I get it, but it's just still very, very weird.
Yeah, that does seem a little strange, but I get where you're coming from. I'm still looking forward to seeing it. I haven't had a chance to yet, but I really liked that series when it was out, and I thought they did a decent job with the Daredevil reboot or continuation or whatever it was. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what it's like. I wanted to also ask you about Peter Jackson. He announced at Cannes the other day that he's making Tintin. This is something. Is it Tintin or Titan or how's that pronounced?
Tintin.
It is Tintin.
Yeah.
Okay. He's writing the script from his hotel room. He said this is a deal that there's been talks about this forever. I think it goes back about 15 years with Steven Spielberg, and it looks like that it might actually come to fruition. How big of a deal is this?
It's a medium-sized deal, I would say. I mean, anytime Peter Jackson makes a movie, it's a big deal. Anytime Steven Spielberg produces it, it's a big deal. And like you said, 15 years ago, Spielberg and Jackson made a pact, and they were like, we're going to make 2 Tintin movies. Spielberg will direct the first one, and I'll produce the second one, and then Jackson will direct the second one, and Spielberg will do this. And the movie only made about $400 million globally, and, it was a very expensive kind of character, like animated type deal. And so they never made the next one. And so Jackson kind of said he felt guilty about that, not delivering. So now it might actually happen. And so he hasn't made like a full-on narrative movie in a long time, Jackson. He made a lot of documentaries and produced a lot. But so I hope it happens. I mean, I love his aesthetic. His movies are always great, even when they're too long Hobbit movies.
Yeah, definitely. Talking to Germain Lussier from Gizmodo. Getting ready to wrap it up here in just a second. We have a special segment with Money Minutes coming up here in just a few minutes. But I wanted to get your take about the Star Wars universe right now. Osaka announced that their season 2 isn't going to come until next year at some point. I think it's still sort of nebulous exactly when that's going to land. And we know what the plot is now of the Mandarin movie that's going into the theaters. What do you think about the status of Star Wars right now? Is this where they want to be, kind of where they're transitioning back into movies? It seems like a long time between seasons of these series.
Yeah, it's been a real period of transition, right? Like, so yeah, their last movie they released was 2019, and then the new one comes out next week. I'll be seeing it tonight, so I can tell you about it next week. And
nice.
yeah, and the TV shows, like The Mandalorian, the last season, that was like 4 years ago, and the movie comes out today. And then Ahsoka was about the same time, and the next season comes out next year. So it's just, I think they're really trying to reset. I think they realized they kind of messed up a little bit, maybe focused on the wrong characters, this and that. So it's all part of the plan to refocus. And, there's a new movie next year that's completely unrelated to anything. That's the Ryan Gosling movie. And we'll see. But I will say I'm very skeptical and worried about this new movie. I'm less skeptical and worried about the Ahsoka series, but I'm a fan, so I love that first series, and not everybody does. It's a very weird time, and I will have a better idea about it next week after I see this new movie.
I certainly hope they right the ship. A man of my age in my early 50s, it does not feel right for Star Wars. I mean, if they rebirth the whole thing, it doesn't feel right for it to be floundering a little bit as far as narratively speaking goes. So I hope they find a way out of this.
I agree 100%.
We'll see what happens. Germain, always great content stuff dialed in on the entertainment industry. Thanks for sharing all your knowledge again today.
Have a great week, everybody.
You too, man. That's Germain Lussier joining us when he can. He's a busy guy and active in covering these movies in Hollywood, but generally joins us every Thursday at this time. We need to take a break. We have a special Money Minutes from Huntington Bank coming up right after this.
Metro News Hotline, brought to you by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ, or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it. So I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer golf coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind. I forgot
and
about
onions.
that. Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
It is 15 minutes into the top of the hour. You're listening to Metro News Talkline, Metro News Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in on this Thursday afternoon. Coming up in just a second, we're going to have a segment of Money Minutes from Huntington Bank. We're making connection now to get that underway here in just a moment. You want to tune in for that. It's going to be a great discussion. There's a lot going on in headlines in the economy and the market and everything, and having a trusted advisor can help you along those lines. Huntington Bank is going to be here to help you with that. With their chief economist is going to join us today. His name is Olu Omodunbi, and he's going to be with us to lend his expertise, and we're really looking forward to that conversation. I believe that Mr. Omodunbi is with us right now, if we can bring him online. Sir, are you with us today? How you doing?
I am doing very well. Thanks for having me today, Dale.
Fantastic. I'm glad we made contact. I've really been looking forward to this discussion and for you to lend your expertise from Huntington Banks as their chief economist. Let's just jump right into it because there's a lot to talk about, and I know that we have some consumers out there that are very interested in exactly what your opinion is going to be on the market. Let's start with consumer sentiment as far as that goes. It just hit its lowest reading in the survey's 74-year history, yet payrolls are still growing. Wages have technically been growing for a while. Inflation is a little bit tricky, but how do you explain kind of the gap between what the indicators show and then what the sentiment is?
Yes, Dale. So, that has been one of the themes which we've noticed over the past couple of years. So consumer sentiment and consumer spending have been out of sync. And some of the reasons why consumer sentiment has been weak, first, prices. So while inflation has slowed over the past couple of years, price levels have increased. And when consumers go to grocery stores, when they go to restaurants, movie theaters, they're looking at prices, they're not looking at inflation. So that, we think is one of the driving factors, causing the consumer sentiment to remain weak. Another reason we think is interest rates. So short-term interest rates, the Fed's funds rates, we think that's restrictive, meaning it is high enough to slow the U.S. economy. Also, long-term interest rates are elevated. So take the 30-year mortgage rate, for example. The national average of the 30-year mortgage rates is over 6%. So those are some of the reasons why consumer sentiment has been weak in recent years. Now, to your point, Dale, what's driving the disconnects between sentiment and actual data? First, productivity growth. Productivity growth has been just remarkable in the U.S. compared to many other economies. That's contributing to just stronger headline GDP numbers. Also, total consumer spending continues to be driven by upper income households. So we think those are just some possible reasons why we're seeing just that disconnects between consumer sentiment and consumer spending.
It's very interesting, and as you watch, as a layperson, as I watch these indicators and what they say, and then what the sentiment numbers and things say, it is quite interesting. And part of the equation that you just gave there was the interest rate, and I wanted to talk about that for just a moment. I think that we had a rate cut that was going to be scheduled that is on hopefully a temporary pause. I'm not really sure what's going on there as far as the interest rate outlook goes, which affects mortgages, car payments, small business loans, and things like that. What's kind of the outlook on where you expect interest rates to go from here?
Yes, Dale. So, the Fed is a big variable for the U.S. economy. Interest rates, particularly for interest rate sensitive sectors, housing, manufacturing, car sales, all of those sectors are very interest rate sensitive. But just to take a few steps back, the Fed's funds rate was above 5% in mid-2023. It has come down since then. It's now between 3.5 and 3.75%. But we don't expect the Fed to make changes to the Fed's funds rate anytime soon. And here's why. The Fed has a dual mandate, so it wants inflation to average 2% over a period of time. It also wants maximum employment, meaning that it wants anyone who's looking for a job should be able to find a job. Also, it wants to attain the highest level of employment with inflation at 2%. Now, inflation has accelerated in recent months. So, headline inflation was 3.8% in April. Just given the recent rise in the inflation rate, we think policymakers are going to be patient. They will play it safe. Just waiting to see how geopolitical developments affect prices, the labor markets, consumers. So we think the Fed is going to just remain on the sidelines and leave the federal funds rates unchanged in the near future. Now, there might be a chance for a rate cuts later this year. If we do see material weakening in the labor markets, if we see a pullback in consumer spending, if we see an increase in the unemployment rates, all those factors will make the Federal Reserve strongly consider cutting interest rates.
Great information. We're having a conversation today on Money Minutes from Huntington Bank. It's Huntington Bank's chief economist is with us today. His name is Olu Omodunbi. He is kind enough to join us today in answering some of these questions. We have a couple minutes left with him today. And you mentioned the labor market just a moment ago, so I wanted to get kind of a snapshot of that right now. There's been a lot of noise as far as adjustments, different things like that that's been in the labor market, but these are knowable things to someone that studies it as far as you do, as far as what the picture looks like now, but what it means is something else. So where are we with the labor market? It's been a little bit confusing, at least to a layperson like me recently.
It's been an interesting labor market. Going back to your first point, we've seen several interesting trends in the U.S. economy, since the pandemic, and one of the trends, is really just the slowing in the labor market. So in 2022 and 2023, we saw just astounding job growth in the U.S. economy as the U.S. economy was recovering from the pandemic. So average monthly job growth in 2022 was around 400,000, remarkable. In 2023, average monthly job growth was around 200,000. That's not the case anymore. We're seeing slower job gains. So over the past 3 months, job gains averaged 50,000. We've also seen an increase in the unemployment rates. It's at 4.3%. Currently, as of April, in January of 2023, that number was 3.5%. But that doesn't quite mean that the labor market is cratering, right? It's still a healthy labor market. what we're seeing in the labor market is that we have a new balance. So, we don't need to create as many jobs now as we did in 2022 or 2023. The break-even employment growth has declined, meaning that, we don't need to create so many jobs to keep the unemployment rates unchanged. Again, it doesn't mean that the labor market is cratering. It's not as strong as it was in 2022 or 2023, but it's still a healthy labor market. And we've also seen just wage growth exceed inflation for 3 years. So that streak was broken last month in April, but for 3 years before that, wages were rising faster than prices. So we are seeing slower conditions. It's still a healthy labor market. And we think it's going to continue to support consumer spending through 2026.
We have about 60 seconds left here, so I just wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of give us an idea of what Huntington's outlook is for the remainder of the year and how Huntington's portfolio managers can help folks out.
Yeah, so for the rest of 2026, we expect continued expansion of the U.S. economy driven by consumer spending, business investments, data construction build-outs. As far as Huntington goes, we really want families, businesses, and communities to thrive. We're local with national expertise. And feel free to reach out to us. Feel free to reach out to any of our advisors, and we'll be glad to help you.
That's outstanding information. I really appreciate your time and coming on Money Minutes this week and sharing some of your expertise. What wonderful insights that you're able to give us, and hopefully folks can find some information in there that they can get away, because sometimes the headlines tricks us a little bit, and it's nice to have someone that really knows this data looking out for us.
Thanks, Dale.
Appreciate your time. Thank you so much. That is Huntington Bank's chief economist that joined us today, Olu Omodunbi. And that was a fantastic segment. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up hour number 1, tell you about the rest of the show. You're listening to Hotline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's a great point.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
For a Hotline Hot Mess.
Sushi Toro in Galvez, Spain has implemented a policy to charge customers extra if they vomit on the premises due to overeating. The decision was made in response to a growing number of vomiting incidents that were affecting other diners, services, and hygiene. The restaurant hopes that the fee will discourage overeating and maintain a pleasant dining experience for all of the customers. The buffet at Sushi Toro ranges from $22 to $28, so just don't go there and vomit. That is a hotline hot mess of a sort. We need to break for the top of the hour. We'll come back with Kathy Mattea. We'll talk about Mountain Stage. You're listening to Hotline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Wednesday's rain was beneficial locally, mostly looking north with the brighter greens indicating over a half inch that fell. Charleston, however, not so much. Compared to average month to date, we're falling behind by almost an inch and a half. And year to date, it's a 5-inch deficit with ongoing severe drought that expanded a bit for Thursday morning's map. Unfortunately, these areas could see worsening conditions in the next 7 days. Anywhere that's green, that's less than a half inch for running accumulation. And on top of that, some increased evaporation with temperatures in the 90s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday approaching daily records each day. For our Thursday evening, some areas of showers, mostly looking north. That, as well as the cloud cover, gradually erodes into the overnight hours with high pressure bringing some dry air in from the west. We'll keep some clear skies into Friday, eventually increasing clouds with a few rain chances, mostly overnight into Saturday. Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. Could be traveling to a few stormy pockets this weekend like Chicago, Orlando, Tampa, otherwise areas rising toward 90s by Sunday like us, including DC and Charlotte. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, looking north where clear skies allow temperatures into the low 40s tonight, then beginning our warming trend tomorrow with some low 70s. Looking east toward Martinsburg to stay a bit milder at 48 tonight, then 73 on Friday. Some areas shy of 40 like Clarksburg, Weston, Elkins, Snowshoe, Webster Springs. These cooler spots stay in mid-60s for our Friday, 73 for Ripley. Other areas that could fall into some 30s tonight, Marlinton, Lewisburg, Summersville. 41 tonight for Charleston, 74 on Friday. We will see some scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday night through Saturday night, lingering a bit on Sunday Morgantown, otherwise heat through Tuesday.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Once again, filling in for Dave Weekly is Dale Cooper.
Welcome back to the program. I'm Dale Cooper. This is Metro News Hotline on a Thursday afternoon. Dave Weekly will be back on Monday, but thank you so much for tuning in to us today. I don't know about you. I was a little chilly today. I haven't talked about the weather much this week. I kind of forgot because that's kind of Dave's thing to talk about the weather, but I was a little chilly today. I've been having a hard time with my hands feeling really stiff all the time, and I say that just because I've been in here trying to rub some feeling back into my hands. I don't know what the deal is with that. Not that it matters to you. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you being here. We're going to talk to Kathy Mattea coming up here in just a moment. There's a great mountain stage coming up this weekend on the 17th. There's still some tickets left to it, so we're going to tell you about that and how you can see the show and who you can see on it. I think maybe somebody Kathy is very close to. We'll find out about that coming up too in just a little bit. At the bottom of this hour, Ryan and I will play our Pick One game. We always have a good time doing that, where we give each other rapid fire questions and try to hold our feet to the fire with hard to choose situations. We'll see how that turns out at 4:33. Amy Smith will join us at 5:06 to give her take on the market and the economy. And then finally at 5:33, Kevin Kinder is going to be with us. He is live and in person at the Kendrick Family Ballpark in Morgantown, and that is where WVU is opening up their weekend series against TCU with the opportunity perhaps to get a share of the Big 12 title and for the regular season, and maybe get the number 1 overall seed in the Big 12 tournament coming up. So Kevin is on the ground there, and he will have some insights for that. Really looking forward to bringing you the next 2 hours of the program. Before we talk to Kathy, let's go ahead and relaunch our question of the day. Today's Salango Law question of the day. A new survey asked 5,000 Americans a pretty simple question. Are you having enough fun And the answer was a little depressing. Nearly half, 48%, said their life is currently lacking fun. 1 in 8 people can't even remember the last time they had a full free day just to enjoy themselves. The number one reason people say fun isn't happening? Money. So that brings us to you. I want to know, what's your fun drought buster? What's the thing you do when you need to just cut loose and have a good time, no matter what? And when did you last do it? You can text over your responses to 304-825-5304, 304-TALK-304. I want to know what your fun buster is, what you do when you have a good time. Send that in to me to 304-825-5304. There is one text that I wanted to get out before we go to Kathy. This had to do with the stool discussion that we were having in the first hour, where I revealed one of the big mysteries of 1111 Virginia Street. People talk about the ghost here at the mansion. We're on some haunted lists. I've never seen a ghost. In fact, I've ghost busted about 3 or 4 different situations here. I've never seen a ghost. But the one mystery that's never been solved is the mystery of the self-exploding stool. We had a brand new stool that fell apart. I told the story in the first hour. I won't get into it. But we had somebody who's very reasonable-minded that texted in, probably solved the mystery, or maybe a perspective that's not quite what I relayed. And that is coming from the 304-627. I think you guys should consider this when it comes to your broken stool. I used to work in a furniture store. Some stools and chairs come assembled, and some needed assembled. Some came in assembled that had a few screws missing. So if someone didn't physically eyeball and inspect every stool to make sure the screws weren't missing when they arrived, ... So maybe it wasn't sabotage. Maybe the stool came only partially put together because of the store that we bought it from, that was supposed to have it assembled out there where we bought it, and then it collapsed on the person, and they didn't know why it collapsed. It didn't take ownership for it. The no ownership thing is still a mystery, but honestly, Ryan, if I had to admit it, that sounds completely plausible.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to accept it, because that would make a terrible true crime podcast.
Yeah.
So, to be continued. With the investigation lives on. Let's go ahead now and bring into the conversation the great Kathy Mattea is joining us today. I get to talk to her on the other side of the glass today, and I always like to do that. How are you doing today, Kathy?
Hi, I'm good. It's nice to hear your voice going over the big airwaves.
Yeah, it's nice to talk to you. I always enjoy talking to you when we get to talk about the things that are going on, instead of our 90 seconds or so that we have to chat before we get you ready to go on the program. And I know this is a big show that's coming up from Mountain Stage this weekend on the 17th. We've got Paul Thorne that's going to be there, Ray Benson, Sonny Sweeney, Annie Friedman, and there's still tickets remaining for this. And this is going to be a nice show.
Oh, it's going to be a great show. But I know I say this every time, but it really is. Paul Thorne, I did not know when I started hosting Mountain Stage. This will be the 3rd time he's been on that I've been hosting. And the last time we were in Morgantown, and his van broke down. He was going to bring his band, and I was going to get to hear his band for the first time. Well, their vehicle broke down, so he and his manager just got in a car and drove from somewhere in Pennsylvania. And he walked in, borrowed a guitar, and blew me away. I thought, I'm going to start crying here at Soundcheck. He's just one of the greats, Andy Friedman is an interesting guy. He's a singer and a songwriter. He's also a visual artist, and he's in town for the Mountain State Collectors Convention on Friday and Saturday. He does these caricatures, and he did a set of baseball cards that sold out in like 7 minutes.
Yeah, really neat. Yeah.
Really good. Really, really good. And he also sings and writes. He's like one of those Renaissance men. And I just think people who kind of are multi-talented like that, they're just really interesting. So I'm looking forward to meeting him. He's actually done a limited edition Kathy Mattea / Mountain Stage card.
Yes.
So I'm kind of excited to see that in person. I've seen the sketches, so I'll get to see that on Sunday.
So this is a limited edition Topps card, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's an actual Topps card that he's doing? Yeah, that's so cool. That's actually really neat.
I know. It's very sweet, and it's a lovely, he was like, I want to support Mountain Stage, and I think this would be fun. So we sent him some pictures, and he sent us back a caricature, and he's just really, really good. Let's see, we also have Sonny Sweeney on. I did not know her. She is a singer-songwriter out of Texas who's been going for like 20 years. And I think she like came to Nashville with a big record deal and then went on independent after the first record and has just quietly built this really solid following. She's like a female, all those big Texas singer-songwriters, she's like the female version of those guys. And she just writes super straight country, really well written, and she's got a great voice. So I'm looking forward to meeting her.
It was really interesting. I ran across her as a podcaster at one time. I think she has a podcast called The Bucket List, and it was interesting when I saw that she was one of the guests because I recognized the name first, and then I had to make the connection. That's interesting.
Yeah, these people. I mean, it's sort of like because there's no boundaries now, people just kind of they don't think of themselves as one thing, and it's kind of a cool thing. So you get to know people in a completely different way. You can get to know somebody on a podcast, and then their music opens up a whole other part to them. So that's really cool, and it'll be fun to have her on with Ray Benson, because Ray is the longtime leader of Asleep at the Wheel. We gave him an award at the West Virginia Music Hall of Fame last time. We can't bring him into the Hall of Fame because he was not technically born in West Virginia, but he founded this band over 50 years ago in Paw Paw, West Virginia. So he's like, we claim him as one of our own, and he's one of the greats. There's a big documentary coming out on their long journey as a band, and I think he's out kind of doing some dates to promote that. He's bringing a couple musicians with him, and he's going to sit in at the Mountain Stage Band. So, I mean, it is going to be a great show, and everybody's really solid in a different way, which is what makes Mountain Stage so special.
That's really something else. I had a couple questions for you about these artists, and we have some clips that we're going to play. Let's start a little bit with Ray Benson here, because he, like you said, he founded Asleep at the Wheel in Paw Paw, West Virginia. I don't know if anybody or if everybody knows that. I don't know that I did, to be quite honest with you. I was very happy to find that when I was looking it up. And they're, of course, a Texas institution. You've been a friend with Ray for a long time. You made an album with him. What's it mean to have him back in Charleston to do this show?
Oh, he's just one of the greats. He's just an interesting presence. He's 6'7", and I got to know him in the 80s because we went to Europe. My first Europe trip together. We went to Czechoslovakia and Ireland and England, and I was like, I had a perm. It was a long time ago, but it was so much fun, and he's just a larger than life guy. And we've served on some committees for the Country Music Association when they want to when they're wondering about changing the rules of something or kind of making some changes, they'll put together a committee of people. And I was on a committee with him about some stuff around the Hall of Fame for a while, and just had some great talks with him. He's just a solid guy. And a great juggler, I might add. So he's been known to just break into juggling in the middle of his show, which won't really matter on Mountain Stage, but it's a good thing to know.
We're going to play a clip from him in just a second, and maybe a clip from that we will play a clip from that documentary as well. But I was doing a little bit into this, and it looks like this is going to be a little bit of a scaled-down performance from him as well, rather than a full Asleep at the Wheel being there with him. So that's going to be a little bit more of an intimate show with him, which should be super cool.
Well, yeah, and he's bringing a couple of his own musicians, and then he's sitting in with the Mountain Stage Band. So
Nice.
Those guys are going to get a chance to stretch out too, which I love seeing those guys. Like just the guys in the band at Mountain Stage, they show up, people throw all kinds of music at them, and they just do it. And it's so fun to watch.
Yeah, they're really
so
amazing.
I'm looking forward to seeing them stretch out a little bit too with him.
Let's get folks familiar, if they, just in case they forgot. Let's go to a little bit of Asleep at the Wheel and do Miles and Miles of Texas.
Oh yeah.
I was born in Louisiana, down on the old bayou, raised on shrimp and catfish and Mammy's good gumbo. I got that rambling fever, said goodbye to Ma and Pa, crossed that old Red River, and this is what I saw. I saw miles and miles of Texas, all the stars up in the skies. I saw miles and miles of Texas, gonna live there till I die.
Just an iconic sound, just absolutely wonderful song there.
Yeah, he's keeping Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys tradition alive. And, you think, how long could a guy just play Western swing? And it's just, he just keeps reinventing it. He keeps writing new songs. He keeps putting together these great bands, and it's thrilling to see him live.
Let's get a little bit of that documentary, Ryan, and play for that, because I think this is something really interesting. This is the documentary that's coming out. It's called "The Wild and Wandering Trip of Asleep at the Wheel."
Sure, we revived Western swing music, but more importantly, we were the first group in Nashville. Before it was Buck Owens and the Buckaroos, Merle Haggard and the Strangers. We were a band with a funny name to boot.
Asleep at the wheel. Asleep at the wheel. Asleep at the wheel.
We changed country music, period.
It really was the genesis of the whole country rock thing. And Asleep at the Wheel was right there in the forefront.
Asleep at the Wheel was like watching a circus.
Man, that sounds like it's going to be a good documentary. I'll tell you what, I'm very interested to see how this goes, and it's an episodic documentary from what it looks like. So episode 1's getting ready to come out.
Yes, yeah, it'll be really interesting. And I think when they started doing that, nobody was doing that kind of music anymore. So they sort of resurrected it and then took it to a whole nother level. And I mean, Ray's won 8 Grammys, so he's very well respected in the industry.
That's really incredible. Wrapping up with Kathy Mattea here, the host of Mountain Stage, talking about the great show that's coming up on the 17th. Last artist I wanted to ask about, Paul Thorne, is going to be there. He's interesting. Paul Thorne fought Roberto Duran on national television and then went to a furniture factory where he worked for a while before being discovered in a pizza shop. And that's kind of the origin story from him. And he's a singer-songwriter. A life like that, I guess, gives you some material, right?
Oh, he's just a character, but he's exactly himself. Half of the fun of seeing Paul Thorne are the stories that he tells between the songs. He's got this Mississippi accent. His dad was a Mississippi preacher, and he talks like he just walked out of the bio, and he just kind of, he's so much himself. He can't be anybody else, but he has this great sort of soulful voice. And when he walked in that last time he was on the show, I hope he plays this song this time. He had just written a song called "Life Is Just a Vapor," and it's a quote from Isaiah, I think, is the book that it's from, that line. And the opening line is about eating ice cream in a hotel room with John Prine when he was opening for him, and he told the whole story. And he had the whole audience in the palm of his hand. It was really wonderful.
That's really amazing. I was ignorant of him before. Honestly, I was unfamiliar with his work. I really love this song. We have a song called "Courage, My Love." Let's hear a little bit of that, Ryan.
Sometimes the weight of the world makes us both wanna run away. But baby, when our strength is gone, let's hold each other and say,
Nice sounding song, I tell you what.
Yeah, he's great. He's just a good-hearted person and writes songs that are uplifting and sings them with a lot of soul.
I think maybe a lot of people could use that right now. That's going to be Mountain Stage coming up this weekend. Still tickets available, mountainstage.org. You can catch that. It's going to be at the Culture Center in Charleston, West Virginia. There's also a live stream that's going to be at mountainstage.org if you can't make it to the show. But getting there and seeing it live is really the way to go, and it's going to be here in Charleston. You can still get tickets over at mountainstage.org. Kathy, thank you so much for your time again this week. Really appreciate when you come in and share some of this time with us.
Thank you, Coop. Thanks for having us on. It's nice to hear your voice.
Thank you a lot, Kathy. I really appreciate that. Kathy Mattea joining us, host of Mountain Stage, and is going to be the host on this upcoming weekend show that's going to come up on the 17th. I always love talking to Kathy. I've told her this before. I had a huge crush on her when she was first making big. I was a preteen seeing her in concerts when she was doing tours around here and stuff. So it's just amazing where life takes you sometimes. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll take our break. We come back. We're going to do a little talking TV, and then Ryan and I will play Pick One at the bottom of the hour. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Lane Tobin and I'm a project consultant with Civil and Environmental Consultants. Growing up in West Virginia, I always dreamed of giving back to my community. That's why I chose CEC. As an employee-owned firm, we combine big company support with a close-knit culture. From stormwater management to new pedestrian trails, with every project, I see the impact we're making and I couldn't be prouder. CEC isn't just where I work, it's where I make a difference. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
There's a lot of noise out there about the market and the economy, but what's really important to you and your future? I'm Shelley Hustle, a member of Huntington Bank's local wealth team right here in West Virginia. Join us for Money Minutes this Thursday at 3:45 on Hotline as we discuss the most important topics and what they mean for you, your family, and your business. Join us on Thursday for Money Minutes, providing insight into the market and how it will impact us right here at home.
Don't forget about our podcast. Check out your favorite podcast provider or simply go to wvmetronews.com and click on the podcast link. This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at wvhtf.org.
We're panhandle cleaning and restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're panhandle cleaning and restoration, and we're gonna save you.
5, 3. For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop.
I would imagine a group of you got together and watched the Mountaineers last night. What were your thoughts on that performance?
It was funny, we were sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? And sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another $1,000 on them tomorrow.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
Biggest step, I think, in relationships is you decide to have a kid. I think you get to a point where everybody you know is pretty much caught on to you. You need to create a new person that doesn't know anything about you. You need a relationship where someone's impressed you know where the spoons are.
It's not a bad point, quite honestly. Taking a look at what's on TV tonight, let's start with the networks over on NBC, Law & Order with their, I'm sure this isn't a series finale, right? No, the season finale on Law & Order at 8 o'clock tonight on NBC, followed by the season finale of Law & Order SVU at 9 o'clock. Over on Fox, Fear Factor, 48 Hours of Fear Part 1 is going to be on 9 o'clock tonight. On Netflix, there's still some newer shows that's come out. Nemesis is coming out on Netflix, a show called Soulmate as well. I forgot to do the ABC update. I just remembered. That's okay, though. I think that information is kind of old, and I got some better ones here. Also, on Prime Video, I mentioned this yesterday, but the series finale of Good Omens, that's the series that's based off of the Terry Pratchett, Neil Gaiman novel. That is on Amazon now, just dropped yesterday, so you can watch the series finale of that. Series premiere on Prime Video of Off Campus, and a 5-episode drop, Season 4 of Perfect Match. That was over on Netflix as well. What's dropping tomorrow on Paramount Plus? Dutton Ranch. You don't want to miss that. Dutton Ranch series premiere. It's a 2-episode premiere. That is the spinoff from Yellowstone. So that is going to premiere on Paramount Plus tomorrow. We need to take a break. We'll come back with Pick One right after this. You're listening to Hotline on Metro News.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. A Hampshire County man is dead, and investigators say it's his neighbor who killed him.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Wednesday's rain was beneficial locally, mostly looking north with the brighter greens indicating over a ½ inch that fell. Charleston, however, not so much. Compared to average month to date, we're falling behind by almost 1.5 inches. And year-to-date, it's a 5-inch deficit with ongoing severe drought that expanded a bit for Thursday morning's map. Unfortunately, these areas could see worsening conditions in the next 7 days. Anywhere that's green, that's less than a ½ inch for running accumulation. And on top of that, some increased evaporation with temperatures in the 90s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday approaching daily records each day. For our Thursday evening, some areas of showers, mostly looking north. That, as well as the cloud cover, gradually erodes into the overnight hours with high pressure bringing some dry air in from the west. We'll keep some clear skies into Friday, eventually increasing clouds with a few rain chances, mostly overnight into Saturday. Fly CRW forecast, it starts at home. Could be traveling to a few stormy pockets this weekend like Chicago, Orlando, Tampa, otherwise areas rising toward 90s by Sunday like us, including DC and Charlotte. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, looking north where clear skies allow temperatures into the low 40s tonight, then beginning our warming trend tomorrow with some low 70s. Looking east toward Martinsburg to stay a bit milder at 48 tonight, then 73 on Friday. Some areas shy of 40 like Clarksburg, Weston, Elkins, Snowshoe, Webster Springs. These cooler spots stay in mid-60s for our Friday, 73 for Ripley. Other areas that could fall into some 30s tonight, Marlinton, Lewisburg, Summersville. 41 tonight for Charleston, 74 on Friday. We will see some scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday night through Saturday night, lingering a bit on Sunday Morgantown, otherwise heat through Tuesday.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
You're listening to Metro News Hotline. I'm Dale Cooper. Thanks for tuning in on this Thursday afternoon. We're going to play Pick One in just a second. One thing I wanted to do, though, wanted to give you a couple of scores in Major League Baseball. Cincinnati Reds, a winner today over the Washington Nationals. Getting back at the Nationals just a little bit. The Reds with 15 runs, 14 hits, and won the game by a score of 15-1. For only 3 hits for the Nationals in the game. That means that Chase Burns had a fantastic game for the Reds. Chase Burns in the game for Cincinnati. Frankly, he is their ace right now, at least until Hunter Green comes back. Chase Burns, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. He lowers his ERA on the season to 1.87. That's a 1.87 ERA. Very briefly, also winning today was the Pittsburgh Pirates. They beat the Rockies by a score of 7-2. So the Pirates and the Reds both winners today. The Nationals losers, and the Guardians, I believe, are off today. Also, I wanted to give you the question of the day today, the Salango Law question of the day. A new survey finds that nearly half of Americans feel that their life is lacking fun, and 1 in 8 can't even remember the last time they had a full day of fun. Most of them blame money for the problem. So what I want to know is, what is your fun drought buster? What's the thing you do when you need to just cut loose and have a good time? And when did you last do it? 304-825-5304. We have some answers coming in on that now. We'll get to those a little bit later on. 304-825-5304. Now, Ryan, if you're ready, let's play a little Pick One. I'm so used to Dave's Pick Ones that I'm really looking forward to this, because I know that you come from different directions sometimes.
Yeah,
so
I'm not going to ask you like, what do you prefer, the betting odds on this team or that team?
To give him credit, he doesn't do that. But there's certain themes that we have, and so I know what his themes are. But I'll start, and then you'll go next. So I'll do 5. This is Pick One. Basically, we just take a proposition, give it 2 potential answers, and then the other person has to pick which one that they would take. We try to make it hard. So question number 1 for Ryan, since I will start. Let's say that you're in a position to hire a lifestyle assistant. Mm-hmm. So you make enough money where you're not ultra wealthy, but you can hire one. And you get to choose between a personal chef. A little research in personal chefs at the elite end. With around 10 years of experience, personal chefs working with high net worth individuals earn between $90,000 and $150,000 a year. Or a personal driver. Personal drivers in New York City, experienced ones, earn about $120,000. And in LA, they earn about $150,000. So if you were making this choice for you and you were able to hire one of these lifestyle assistants, which would you choose, a personal chef or a personal driver?
I'd have to go with the personal driver because, 1, I hate driving. 2, I love cooking, and I don't want someone else to take that pleasure away from me.
Hey,
also, I'd be less likely to be poisoned by a chauffeur.
That's very true. And frankly, having a chauffeur would be a big time saver, because you could multitask and do all kinds of things while you're going from one place to the other. Mm-hmm. That's good answer. Good answer. And definitive. I like it. Definitive answers. I like those. I'm going to give you 2. I know that you're an animal lover. You have a dog, and you're a big animal lover. So I have thought of 2 difficult pets. I'm going to describe them to you, and you tell me which of these pets that you would be most likely to introduce into your current lifestyle. So number 1 would be a ferret. Ferrets are relentlessly mischievous, escape artists, will steal and hide anything, and they have a distinctive smell that no matter any amount of cleaning, it will never fully eliminate it. They're very entertaining, but also very exhausting. Or would you pick a cockatoo. Cockatoos are loud, emotionally volatile, destructive, and they bond so intensely that they'll scream for hours if ignored. Essentially a toddler that lives 50 years and can bite through a broomstick. So, my question for you is, ferret or cockatoo?
Man, a toddler that lives 50 years, man, imagine the human lifespan.
Right?
But, I know that birds, especially, not just cockatoos, but birds in general, are very emotionally dependent animals if you take them as pets. And I'm out of the house for most of the days because I'm here. And I think neither of those are a good choice for my lifestyle, but going on which animal would suffer less, I think I'd have to choose the ferret.
The ferret.
Which is kind of a sad way to put it, but that it's what I got to do.
Hey, I like your reasoning. I mean, you have to come up with some way to come to the answer, so I kind of like where that goes.
Yeah.
Man, I've seen ferrets do some crazy things.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had one, but I've seen some crazy things with ferrets. And then there's that old movie Beastmaster. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh, I highly recommend it. He had 2 ferrets that were like little thieves that he could command and go out and do things with him. Send me a text if you've seen Beastmaster. I'm interested in if I'm the only one. I don't think so. Okay, so question number 3. I want you to, let's make a real estate decision together. I'm going to give you a couple of different properties, and you tell me which one you would rather rent or buy. So we're going to go with famous ones here. So let's start with the Friends apartment. That's the purple apartment in New York City. It was in Greenwich Village. That was back in the 1990s when Friends had it. Back then, an apartment of that size, which was a 1,200 square foot 2-bedroom apartment, ran for about $2,000 a month. Now they run for about $9,000 a month, and their purchase price today would be about $3 million. And then the other apartment or the other real estate I want you to compare it to is from the sitcom New Girl. That was with Zooey Deschanel. I was a fan of that show, frankly. I thought it was pretty good. New Girl, she lived in a loft in L.A. in the Arts District. That was in the early 2010s. A loft of that size in the Arts Districts ran for about $3,500 16 years ago. Today, that runs for about $5,500 for that same apartment. So, and the purchase value for that one today is a little bit of a discount off of the Friends apartment. It would be about $1.5 million. So, Ryan, if you had to choose, if you could buy or rent either the Friends apartment or the New Girl apartment, which would it be?
I'd go with the Friends apartment because I think I like New York. I'd like to. It'd be cool.
It's everything they say.
Yeah,
it's something everyone should see.
Yeah.
Where else can you see it? Never mind.
Yeah, I feel like you're referencing something, but I'm too young to get it.
Yeah, it's a Huey Lewis and the News song.
Oh, yeah. I like sports. Yeah.
It's a great album.
Yeah, it's a great album.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
That's all right. But yeah, I wouldn't mind living in New York. You'd have to adjust to it. You'd have no one tells you how the subway works.
That's true.
You have to learn it on your own.
There's a map.
Yeah.
By the time that I went to New York all the time, by the time that I was going up there, by the time I stopped going up there, let me say, I knew what trains to take. I wouldn't anymore, but back then I knew which trains to take, and I would much rather live in New York than LA. I don't think there's any question about that. So I see where you're coming from there. Okay. Reality TV star Brandi Glanville, during a street interview, expressed her desire to fight fellow Real Housewives alum Denise Richards. Glanville made the comments while discussing a 3-day event at a private villa featuring main event fight between OnlyFans stars Rebecca McLeod and Brittany LaFavor. So my question for you, though, is what would make a better 1v1 fighting video game? Which of these styles would be better? Street Fighter Muppets or Peanuts Mortal Kombat?
Oh, man. I'd say the Muppets one, because I think you could, if you went up to a Disney executive and said, hey, we want to make a Muppets fighting game in the style of Street Fighter, they'd be like, we'll have to get permission from the Jim Henson estate, but as long as it can print money, yes. If you went to, what's the name of the guy who made the Peanuts?
Schultz.
Yeah, if you went up to the Schultz estate and said, hey, we want to make a game where the Peanuts characters get brutally destroyed, they'd be like, do you know our work? No, we're not going to do that.
Or Schroeder pulls out like a piano and smashes Lucy over the head with it or something. Yeah, that would be terrible.
I think the Muppets one would work better.
That's fair.
I think they're both terrible ideas,
well,
but
thanks.
one of them is more plausible. No offense.
Oh no, that's okay. No, that's completely Cromulent, as I said. Okay, and finally, the fifth question. H.G. Wells' Time Machine is famous for its depiction of the far future, and there are any number of time travel depictions that go into the past. So I want you to pick one. If you could go 2,500 years in either direction, future or past, which way would you go?
Here, a little tangent real quick, because you mentioned the time machine. Whenever my dad and I have like a political argument, he's always like, Ryan, you're a Morlock, Ryan. Do you know what a Morlock is? And I'm like, no, Dad, I don't know what a Morlock is. And he's like, you need to read the Time Machine. You need to read, Ryan. You're a Morlock. And I'm like, all right, Dad. But I would go to the
burn.
Yeah, I would go to the future, because I feel like people say like, oh, if I went back in time, I could use my modern knowledge to rule the world. No, you couldn't. It's be like, you'd go like, oh, there's this cool thing called electricity, and it's like, how do you make it?
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Nobody would have knowledge anymore because we're all used to relying on the internet or AI.
Yeah,
we would be babes.
You would just adjust to the society that's there. You would conform.
I think that's true.
I'd go to the future. It might be like a fish out of water thing. Maybe you can make a movie out of it, but it's still, the principles of modernity are still there.
I gotcha. That's a good answer. Okay, that's my 5. What's your 5?
All right, so back in the 90s, soda brands loved to make new flavors. And, of course, it backfired heavily for New Coke, which after the name New Coke fell out of fashion, they just started calling it Coke 2. So if you were to bring one back, pick one, Coke 2 or Crystal Pepsi.
Oh. Okay. The only reason I'm picking this, I can't remember. I know that I tried Coke 2. I remember having it, and I didn't like it, but it wasn't like a visceral reaction.
Yeah.
I had a visceral reaction to Crystal Pepsi. Like, I really disliked that. And I think, if I remember correctly, it tasted like cola, but it was clear. So it wasn't like Sprite or something derivative of that. It was actually a cola, but without the coloring in it. So it was clear. It was very off-putting. So yeah, I would go. I guess if you had to bring back one, it would be Coke 2.
Yeah.
I guess.
Now, this next one doesn't require a lot of explanation. What would you rather? What would you prefer? People with bikes bike on the road, or people bike on the sidewalk?
We're just talking like what Charleston has, for example. If you're downtown Charleston, I would much rather, because I'm a walker too, so I would much rather for you to follow the traffic laws like you're supposed to, and I, as a driver, would also treat you with respect. That's also a big part of it. But in a perfect world, I would rather see him on the street.
Yeah. Okay. Now, back to the 90s again. There was this cup design, a little plastic cup that's an iconic design. It's got a swirl of teal and purple. It's called the Jazz design.
Oh, yeah.
And you would see it in every school function, every office party. It was the cheapest little plastic cup you could get for any occasion. So, if you were catering a party, which would you prefer? The Jazz design cup or the red Solo cup? Now, not a formal event, just like any old party.
I think, and this is it's my reason. I think I would go with the red Solo cup just because it's part of our Friday fanfare.
Yeah,
the song is.
It is.
and so, with all things being equal, I'll go with the thing that maybe slightly promotes the show in some way. So I'll go with the red Solo cup.
All right. Now, this one is an opinion piece, I guess. So early special effects in movies was a wild west of high highs and low lows. But we're just going to look at the highs here because we're positive minded. Which do you think is the king of early special effects?
Ooh.
Ray Harryhausen with his stop motion, or Industrial Light and Magic special effects, which you would see in like Star Wars.
Familiarize me with Hausen's work. I know the name, but I can't remember the...
Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah, okay.
Stop motion, like Cyclops.
Yeah. Oh, man. He predated ILM a little bit, didn't he, right?
Yes, he did. Most of the people who worked at ILM
worked for
inspired by him.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go. I'm not as knowledgeable about the works individually because I had asked you to, but I do know the name and I do know a little bit of the history. Yeah, I would have to go with the OG there with that. ILM did great work too, but it's mostly derivative.
Yeah. All right, and here is my final one. Now, everyone knows about culture shock when you go to a new place and it's overwhelming because everything's so different. But in Japan, they have something a bit more specific. It's called Paris syndrome. Now, in Japan, the popular opinion is that Paris, whether it's through like cultural assumption or misinformation, they believe Paris is this idyllic city of art and culture. And then they'll actually get there and they find out it's just like any other city and it has city problems like really dirty alleys, homeless people, city problems. Everyone's got it.
Sort of like when you see the pyramids and you look at them from the other angle.
Yeah.
It's just like urban sprawl.
Yeah. So, which would you prefer to have culture shock in? Would you rather visit Tokyo and experience culture shock, or Paris and experience culture shock?
Frankly, I've always wanted to go to Tokyo. That's going to Japan has always been one of the things that I wanted to do. I don't know if it was because of my obsession that I had for a long time with Akira Kurosawa or something. I have no idea. But I've always been fascinated. And my ex-wife was a Zen Buddhist nun as well, and I learned a lot about the culture through her. So yeah, I think I would have to go with going to Japan. I think that would be super cool.
All right, and those are my topics.
Hey man, good job, man.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Thank you.
A lot of fun playing Pick One. We're running just a little bit late for a break though, so let's take a break and we'll be back right after this.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. and they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
You're listening to Metro News Hotline. It is 4:53. We're running late. Let's do On This Date. On this date, May 14th in 1961, Tim Roth was born, Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. He's 65 today. In 1969, Cate Blanchett, Australian actress, was born. She was in Lord of the Rings and in The Aviator as well.
Don't you find? Me, I keep healthy. I take 7 showers a day to keep clean. Also because I'm what's so vulgarly referred to as outdoorsy. Well, I'm not outdoorsy, I'm athletic. I sweat. There it is. Now we both know the sordid truth. I sweat and you're deaf. Aren't we a fine pair of misfits? 3.
And she was really great in that. In 1938, The Adventures of Robin Hood, directed by Michael Curtiz. William Cayley was starring in Errol Flynn and Olivia de Havilland. It was released in HD, and here is the trailer.
Robbing the rich to feed the poor, ready to fight for king, for country, or for maiden fair.
Now, this forest is wide. It can shelter and clothe and feed a band of good determined men, good swordsmen, good archers, good fighters. Are you with me?
It's Errol Flynn as Robin Hood. Olivia de Havilland as Maid Marian. Claude Rains, Basil Rathbone, and a cast of thousands, reliving history's most colorful adventure.
I suppose you realize the penalty for killing a king's deer is death. Are there no exceptions?
And our music to the break today, if I can find it. Oh, yes, of course. In 1952, David Byrne from the Talking Heads was born. He is 73 today. He is doing some of the best live music out there right now. He's been fantastic at the festivals. And David Byrne will be our music to the break.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind.
And onions.
Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. and they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
It is 20 minutes or 20 seconds past. Let's try that again. It is 4:59. It is about 40 seconds until the top of the hour. You're listening to Metro News Hotline, and I'm Del Cooper. It's wrapping up hour number 2 of the program. Had a great hour here. Kathy Mattea, our featured guest at the front part of the hour, talking about Mountain Stage and sharing some of her great music. Coming back on the other side with Amy Smith. You're listening to Hotline on Metro News.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Wednesday's rain was beneficial locally, mostly looking north with the brighter greens indicating over a half inch that fell. Charleston, however, not so much. Compared to average, month to date, we're falling behind by almost an inch and a half. And year to date, it's a 5-inch deficit with ongoing severe drought that expanded a bit for Thursday morning's map. Unfortunately, these areas could see worsening conditions in the next 7 days. Anywhere that's green, that's less than a half inch for running accumulation. And on top of that, some increased evaporation with temperatures in the 90s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday approaching daily records each day. For our Thursday evening, some areas of showers, mostly looking north. That, as well as the cloud cover, gradually erodes into the overnight hours with high pressure bringing some dry air in from the west. We'll keep some clear skies into Friday, eventually increasing clouds with a few rain chances, mostly overnight into Saturday. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. Could be traveling to a few stormy pockets this weekend like Chicago, Orlando, Tampa, otherwise areas rising toward 90s by Sunday like us, including DC and Charlotte. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, looking north where clear skies allow temperatures into the low 40s tonight, then beginning our warming trend tomorrow with some low 70s. Looking east toward Martinsburg to stay a bit milder at 48 tonight, then 73 on Friday. Some areas shy of 40 like Clarksburg, Weston, Elkins, Snowshoe, Webster Springs. These cooler spots stay in mid-60s for our Friday, 73 for Ripley. Other areas that could fall into some 30s tonight, Marlinton, Lewisburg, Summersville. 41 tonight for Charleston, 74 on Friday. We will see some scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday night through Saturday night, lingering a bit on Sunday Morgantown. Otherwise, heat through Tuesday.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Once again, filling in for Dave Weekly is Dale Cooper.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming in for the final hour of the show, hour number 3 of Metro News Hotline. We're going to be here for the next 53 minutes now as we count it down before you get ready for Sportsline. That's coming up at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. I'm in for today and in for tomorrow as well. Then Dave will be back on Monday. So I look forward to the Grand Poobah coming back. I've been a little bit itchy because, man, I have a lot to say about baseball right now, and I don't want to monologue on it. And I know that Ryan is just going to get kind of dead-eyed and look at me if I start ranting at him about bunts with no outs and stuff like that. So I'll spare you of that consideration, Ryan.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think I almost choked him up just mentioning it. But Dave will be back for me to fuss at on Monday. So thanks for staying with me, as I steer this thing for the remainder of today and tomorrow as well. Amy Smith is coming up in just a moment. We're starting to get some collections on our question of the day. Let me get that out there one more time, and then see what we can see. Our question of the day today, it has to do with fun. It has to do with fun, or maybe I should say with the lack of fun that we're all having. A new survey of 5,000 Americans asked a really simple question: are you having enough fun? And the answer was a little depressing. Nearly half, 48%, said no, that they're currently lacking in fun. 1 in 8 people can't even remember the last time they had a full day of fun. And most people say that money is the problem and the reason they can't have fun. Well, maybe Amy Smith can help with that a little bit coming up here in just a second. So that brings me to you. What's your fun drought buster? What's the thing that you do when you just need to cut loose and have a good time, no matter what? And when is the last time you did it? What's the thing that you do for fun? And when is the last time that you did it? 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Let's get a couple responses in here before we get to Amy. From the 304-890. Hey, guys, I don't have a lot of money, and I have fun. We live in West Virginia, for goodness sakes. There is so much to do outdoors, but if that's not your thing, we love boarding games at our house, have a few friends over and get some good snacks, sit around the table and put your phones away and just enjoy each other's company. That's very nice. I don't disagree with any of those things. Question of the day about fun. Coop, first of all, my favorite line from a movie is, it isn't fun. Isn't fun the best thing to have? Yes, it is. That's very true. That's from Arthur. The reason I don't have as much fun now is the limitations of my age and my body. Money is not the issue now. In fact, I had the money. If I had the money now I had when I was younger, I would have ordered top shelf when I was out all night having fun. That's a good one. I like that. Thank you for your responses. We have more of them in here, but I want to go ahead and get to Amy Smith so we can have a nice little discussion today. Amy joins us, of course. How are you doing today, Amy, the shining pride of Randolph County?
Good to talk to you, Dale. Yeah, I'm doing just fine. And we have this market, I'll tell you, Dale, it just continues. You know, there's no matter what the news, I mean, this market is resilient. We did have good results from Cisco Systems on earnings, and that helped, sort of excite the market. We had an exciting new IPO being priced. So, right now, I do think it would not be surprising if we got a little bit of a pullback, but, right now it's been full steam ahead.
Yeah, so what you just said, the Dow briefly reclaimed 50,000 today. Cisco's earnings came in strong. President Trump is in Beijing meeting with President Xi Jinping. What is actually driving the move today? I mean, I was looking up on the TV right before you came, and there was a lot of green on the board. So what's actually moving that today? Is market kind of shifting and getting into a line? Is this AI and tech driven? What is your view on that?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. We had this big buzz around the Cerberus Systems. It's CBRS is the IPO. It was a blockbuster day. It's another big AI name, Dale. Investors are betting that this one could become the next legitimate AI infrastructure player. It has a wafer scale engine technology. Do not ask me to explain all of this in great detail to you, but they raised $5.5 billion. It's the largest U.S. IPO by far this year. The other thing is, it's backed by OpenAI, Sam Altman, and this is just a big buzzy name. And then the other thing we have going for us here, Dale, is that these it continues to be moved by these big tech names, the Magnificent Seven and AI. So, kind of that fear of missing out has kind of hit a lot of these funds. And do I think we're a little bit stretched? Maybe, but right now things look fairly healthy.
Going back to Cerberus there for just a moment, that was a pretty interesting IPO. I think it's the largest one of 2026. The prices were at $185 a share, and I learned what being 20 times oversubscribed mean today, because I didn't know what that meant until I went in and looked at it. But that just meant this stock was in high demand as an IPO.
Yeah, I had, it's funny because I'm on different threads and I see what different investors are thinking. And everyone was saying, how can I get into this, before it prices? I want to buy shares early. And that's why you get that 20x demand. It's oversubscribed. So, right now, and however long this will lay, the investing appetite for anything tied to the AI infrastructure that's a name. Is it going to become a long-term threat to NVIDIA? Don't know yet. NVIDIA still owns the ecosystem software. Will this be the next generation of AI winners? It certainly is. I see it's on like every news feed. You see it. So it's a big, big IPO.
I was a little shocked when I saw that the 30-year yield right now was over 5%. I know 5% is usually kind of that level that people look at. It's 5.05 right now. Kenny Polcari says the fantasy narrative of multiple rate cuts this year is now dead on arrival. The 30-year Treasury is above 5%. The government had to price in new bonds below face value to get anyone to buy them. What does that mean for the economy, the bond market, and everything that's happening now?
Well, you're right, Dale. This is a lot. So we got a couple things here, and including the bond market. The longer the oil stays elevated, that we got shipping routes disrupted, that gets into the economy. And companies are not charities; they exist to make money. So they're going to pass on those higher costs through higher prices. and stuff like that. In terms of bonds, there's always this back and forth deal. Where are you going to get the most money? Should I be putting the money into bonds, which are paying higher yields, or should I be putting my money in stocks? So this higher, we got the hot CPI rating, the scorching PPI report, this consumer price index. And so, the Fed, the idea that they can cut is starting to look unlikely the way the bond market is acting. So what it means is it could be a little difficult for the stock market. We're going to have to see where this goes.
I wanted to touch on, after the bell tonight, I think that Applied Materials, which is a semiconductor equipment company, their earnings are going to be reported after the bell tonight. That's one that everybody's kind of looking for. What's the big deal about Applied Materials?
Well, you're right. It's this whole book. So this is the semiconductor group. This is a red hot group right now. And to see how they reported after the bell, it's funny. It didn't move a lot. It was up a little bit after hours on the earnings. Let me see. Volume was up 72%. The stock was up 4% after hours, so that's pretty decent. You're right. It's just the group, and the semiconductor group right now is just super, super hot, on fire.
Well, what is one of the difficult things that I see when we look at people that evaluate the market, and you have such broad experience in these things. Has there been, and this is a little off script, Amy, but I know that you can handle this because I'm really curious about this. I see so many of the folks that are out there that try to participate in I wouldn't say trying to game the market, but they treat it like an algorithm that they can figure out, and they're always trying to jump the gun on different things and stuff like that. And there's people that do it professionally. There's people that do it, that aren't professionals at it. That's a space, it's a free country. You can do whatever you want, but that's a space you really need to be careful when you get into. I was reading a thread the other day that was online where a young man who was in school basically ended up trying to play meme stocks with all of his money that he had saved for school, and ended up losing everything because he got hot once, did pretty well, kept on doing it, lost his money, kept on doubling down, and then he was literally trying to start a GoFundMe to refund his college life, which honestly he would probably spend on the market again. But what's a caution that you could throw at people that are looking at, because I think people are looking at like, maybe I can make an easy buck or something like that. There's professionals out there that do this, and there should just be some caution there.
There is. You know what I tell people, if they don't have a lot of time to study the individual names, what I think it's a good idea, get yourself into an S&P index fund, contribute to your 401k on a regular basis. And if you do that, leave it alone. Don't trade in and out of it. That's the worst thing. People will get scared in the market and they'll pull money out. And then as the market goes up, they've missed the move. So just leave it in, let it run. Over time, the market goes higher. Trying to play some of these hot names. You hear of Micron Technology or MU, Micron Technologies. And so if you hear these buzz names and you try to buy them, you might be buying them late. You might be buying them, after the stock's already gone up so much, it's ready for, pullback. So without the experience in the market, just go ahead with the funds. It's the easy way to go. You can buy some ETFs that cover, the NASDAQ or the S&P, but that's the way I would do it if you don't have as much time. You're right. Trying to chase these hot names is tricky.
I've just, for some reason, I guess my online algorithm or whatever. I'm not on many social media places, but where I go and get my news and stuff, I get a lot of these stories, and it makes me kind of sad where I see people that are either on the prediction markets or on the stock market, whatever it might be, where they're just mismanaging their money. And I know I do a financial show on Mondays with a local financial advisor, and he'll do the calculations sometimes. Well, if you take that $100 that you wasted on that and you invested it today, you know what that would be in 30 years, and it's always kind of it's both encouraging and depressing that folks need to take that seriously.
No, it is. And it doesn't have to be, I know money is tight. People have young kids and, life is expensive, and I get that. Just think of it as a regular commitment that you do. It's whether you get your paycheck, however often you get it, you take a little bit and you make sure that you're, adding to that 401k or, adding to this S&P fund. If you do it on just a regular, steady basis, you will be amazed over 20 years, 30 years, then when you need it, when you get older, you'll have it.
Yeah, I thought we would touch on that just a little bit because it really kind of haunted me. I've read a couple stories just in the last couple of days, and that stuff just bothers me because it's all, somebody's self-made misery, really. There's so much misery that you can't avoid, man. You should really try to stay away from the stuff you can avoid. That would be my advice on that. Amy, I really appreciate your time and sharing your expertise as always. Shining pride of Randolph County. Dave will be back next week, and I know he will be grinding and ready to go. He's probably. I have a feeling he's probably having withdrawal, from not having the segment. But we had Money Minutes earlier today as well from Huntington Bank, so he's probably having withdrawal right now because he missed both of his favorite segments.
Well, I'll be back next week, and you take care, and let's see what the market brings next week.
Sounds good, Amy. Really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Talk to you later on. That's Amy Smith joining us. She joins us every week, the shining pride of Randolph County, formerly of investors.com, and just with great insights into the market and the economy. So what we need to do now, we need to take a break. When we come back, I think we have a two-man version of In or Out we're going to have to play. So we'll do that right after this.
Hi, I'm Brittany Hedrick. As an environmental project manager at CEC, working in West Virginia, the land taught me respect and responsibility. Whether it's navigating complex regulations or overseeing site assessments, I ensure every project thrives. CEC isn't just where I work, it's where I make a difference. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
This boating season, elevate your family time with Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Proudly family-owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Trusted experts in premium boats, motors, and service. Discover refined comfort, elegant design, and performance you can feel. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of preseason savings. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com because the weekend's almost here.
You can call us at 800-765-8255. Text us at 304-825-5304. Or tweet at WEEKLEY. This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer golf coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
It is 5:24. You're listening to Metro News Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Dale Cooper. About time we play in or out here in just a second. But coming up in just a few minutes, you might want to tune in for this. Coming up here in about 10 minutes or so, Kevin Kinder is going to join me. He is live from the Kendrick Family Field in Morgantown, where West Virginia is going to take on TCU, starting a 3-game series tonight. That's the final regular season series of the season for the West Virginia baseball team. However, they're vying for a regular season league championship or maybe a tie. If they get at least a tie, they have the tiebreaker with Kansas. There's some complicated math in there, I think, with UFC too, or that we might have to get from Central Florida as well, that we might have to get some information from Kevin on. I'm not really sure how they factor into that. But generally speaking, West Virginia's magic number is 4, and they have the potential to either win the Big 12 regular season championship or tie for it. If they tie, they have the tiebreaker against Kansas, which means that that they will be they would get the number 1 seed in the postseason tournament. So that's coming up in about 10 minutes or so. Let's go ahead, though, and play in or out. In or out is the game that we play every day. We have 3 topics. The categories change daily. We have food, gut reaction, and celebrity, where we try to mix it up and get responses from our panel of participants. Our panel today is pretty much just me and Ryan. So so that's the way it's going to go. Ryan, I hope you're ready.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to start today with in or out food. Our food item for today is the Krispy Kreme Orange Dreamsicle Glaze. Krispy Kreme is dropping the Orange Dreamsicle Original Glazed Donuts for 1 weekend only, starting today through the 17th. The limited edition Orange Dreamsicle Orange Glazed Donut features citrus and vanilla flavored glaze that's inspired by Good Humor's ice cream treat. Ryan, the Krispy Kreme Orange Dreamsicle Glazed, in or out?
It's very difficult to mix a citrus flavor with a pastry, and the few times that it actually works is with lemon or lime, like key lime pie, you know? With orange, I'm not so sure if that's very good, so I think I'll be out.
You know, this is a strange one for me. By the way, let me see. You can order them online if you want to, and if you order them online, you can get a second dozen for just $5 using the code ORANGE. The thing about this to me is I like the ice cream bars fine, the Dreamsicle ice cream bars. I like those fine. However, there's some energy drink. I think it was the Prime drink that came out with drinks, and their orange flavor tasted a lot like that, and it was really gross. Not that the original was, but it just put me off on the flavor in general. Yeah. And the thought about it on, like you said, on bread or on a pastry doesn't really do it for me, I have to admit. And just like I always say with Krispy Kreme, I'm a cake, not a yeast kind of donut guy, so I'm slightly out on this, frankly. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be all that great. So I had this weird thought today. And frankly, I have an entire essay that I didn't get to at the beginning of the show if we needed to talk about something. But it also is the gut reaction on the question of the day today. And the premise is simply this. It's Hunter X, that is the band behind the song Golden, that is the smash hit from the K-pop Demon Hunters movie. Their soundtrack has been huge. Netflix has they've just announced that Hunter X is going on tour. They're putting together a Hunter X K-pop Demon Hunters tour that is going to take place next year. So this is a huge thing. So I had this mind-blowing thought. Hunter X is, and I mean this as a compliment, the 2026 Monkeys. And Hunter X was assembled through a competition, handed professional songs, cast much for personality as they were, and talent and marketed directly to teenagers right to a screen. Does that sound familiar? The Monkeys were called Fake and manufactured back in 1966. They sold 75 million albums. Going to other manufactured bands, NSYNC gave us Timberlake. The Jackson 5 was frankly, they didn't come from the Roots. They were manufactured. So in or out, Hunter X is the Monkeys of 2026.
You know, I'll be in. I will be in on that. I think that I think all celebrity to a certain point is manufactured. Like, all of these people have agents. There are like talent agencies everywhere in Hollywood and beyond. So it's no surprise that these people get famous for a reason. So it's not surprising, and I'm just surprised that they made a very strange leap from the digital to reality. You know, it's usually the other way around, I guess.
I know, right?
I don't know.
It's kind of strange. So you're in?
Yes, I'm in.
Me too. I think it was my idea, so I'll be in. Very briefly, Will Smith is signed on to do a movie called Supermax. It's his first non-franchise movie. It's going directly to Amazon, where he's playing a detective investigating a murder at a super prison. Will Smith, in or out?
I would have been in, but he's had a real bad fall recently, so I think I'll be out.
Yeah, I am. I hope he rehabilitates his career, because I've talked to Will Smith before. Actually, I'm going to be slightly in. Get your house in order. We'll be back after this.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm working.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Wednesday's rain was beneficial locally, mostly looking north, with the brighter greens indicating over an inch deficits, with ongoing severe drought that expanded a bit for Thursday morning's map. Unfortunately, these areas could see worsening conditions in the next 7 days. Anywhere that's green, that's less than a half inch for running accumulation, and on top of that, some increased evaporation, with temperatures in the 90s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday approaching daily records each day. For our Thursday evening, some areas of showers, mostly looking north. That, as well as the cloud cover, gradually erodes into the overnight hours, with high pressure bringing some dry air in from the west. We'll keep some clear skies into Friday, eventually increasing clouds with a few rain chances, mostly overnight into Saturday. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. Could be traveling to a few stormy pockets this weekend, like Chicago, Orlando, Tampa, otherwise areas rising toward 90s by Sunday like us, including DC and Charlotte. Panhandle to Panhandle forecast, looking north where clear skies allow temperatures into the low 40s tonight, then beginning our warming trend tomorrow with some low 70s. Looking east toward Martinsburg to stay a bit milder at 48 tonight, then 73 on Friday. Some areas shy of 40, like Clarksburg, Weston, Elkins, Snowshoe, Webster Springs. These cooler spots stay in mid-60s for our Friday, 73 for Ripley. Other areas that could fall into some 30s tonight, Marlinton, Lewisburg, Summersville. 41 tonight for Charleston, 74 on Friday. We will see some scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday night through Saturday night, lingering a bit on Sunday Morgantown. Otherwise, heat through Tuesday.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti-everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment, or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
The conversation starts long before the game.
he doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
Twenty-seven minutes until 6 o'clock, 5:33 on Metro News Hotline. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Dale Cooper. Gotta admit, I'm a little tired. I'm a little tired today. Looking forward to going home and getting some dinner. Maybe I'm more hungry than tired. I'm not sure. Either way, looking forward to turning things over to Sportsline tonight, which will probably give you a little bit of narrative of the first part of the Mountaineers baseball game tonight against TCU. Kevin Kinder from BlueGoldNews.com joins us now. And Kevin, you're actually at Kendrick Family Ballpark right now. It's about an hour from first pitch. What's the atmosphere like at the park now, or what do you expect it to be like?
As always, I think there's probably going to be a little bit of tension, not necessarily from the Mountaineers, but from fans. There is always the worry that, hey, when you're set up to accomplish something great, that it might go a little bit in the other direction. Definitely cool. It's welcome to Morgantown weather, probably about 50 degrees. So, it's not exactly baseball weather, but that's something that the Mountaineers thrive on too. So I think it will be okay. It's kind of strange starting a series on Thursday. It's graduation weekend also. So several different things distracting from this a little bit. But I have a feeling once the game started, it's going to heat up pretty quickly.
Let's start a little. Let's talk a little bit about the game and start with some of Saban's strategy going into it. He's starting Ian Korn tonight to keep Yale and Cole on the schedule to start game 2 and 3. Those are I think 1 and 2 ERA in the Big 12. That tells you a little bit about something about how he's managing for this series this weekend. He's keeping the aces for the 2 games to wrap up the regular season.
It is, and I think that's a smart move. You're trying to keep the routines going. But don't, sleep on Ian Korn. He's third in the ERA. His whip is actually better than the other two. He has been absolutely fantastic as a long reliever this year for West Virginia. Has filled in several times and won games that, in a role that, is often tough to fill. So we'll be interesting to see. Starting can be different than being a reliever a little bit. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But I think it's kind of a smart move, to be honest.
Ian Korn going for the Mountaineers tonight with a 2.96 ERA. He has 44 strikeouts and 48 and 2/3 innings. Only 8 walks. Shows good control. Just like Kevin was talking about, Max Yale has a 2.04 ERA and Chanson Cole with a 2.71. So really elite ERAs from 1 through 3, really, in the Mountaineers starting rotation. On the other side of the bump, you have Tommy Laporte going for TCU. Now, TCU was the preseason favorite to win the Big 12. Things didn't work out for him, and Laporte was the preseason pitcher of the year. He's only pitched in 10 innings tonight. What do you expect to see or 10 innings this season? What do you expect to see from him tonight?
I mean, for Mountaineer fans, you hope that he's still a little bit rusty, although he had a nice outing against Utah in his last appearance. It was just 3 innings. So you don't know how long they are going to stretch him out. But, yes, he was great last year, first-team all-league pitcher. And, he definitely has the talent. There's no question about that. This could be a great matchup. Just, I'm going to have to watch. We'll see how far does TCU want to stretch him out. How many pitches will they let him go? See if West Virginia can get some longer bats on him and bump his pitch count up as much as they can.
High tension, and I love the strategy talk like this. We're basically into a 3-game season right now, getting ready for the postseason. And speaking of the situation for the postseason, of course, the Mountaineers are looking to win the appropriate amount this weekend so they can get into at least a tie first place with Kansas and the Big 12 regular season standings. That means that they would actually get number 1 overall seed because they have won the season tiebreaker with Kansas. But tell us a little bit. I'm not sure if I have all of the scenarios right. West Virginia's won 7 straight. Do they control their own destiny if they win all 3 games, or do they need a little help from Kansas? I think they need at least 1 loss, right?
That is correct. Yeah, they do not control their own destiny. I know there were several people that wrote that or said that. That's not correct. If Kansas sweeps, Kansas gets the number 1 seed and wins the league. West Virginia needs that help. It needs to basically win 1 more game than Kansas does. So 3-2, 2-1, 1-0, however it works out. Mountaineers need that, but it's not a lot of help when you get down to this point. TCU is a really good opponent, and they are, it's not like they're going to roll over because they're kind of playing for their postseason lives here to get an NCAA bid. So, unfortunately, it'd be nice if they were just kind of playing out the string. They are absolutely not. Kansas playing at BYU, that is a tougher place to play. It's a kind of a bandbox launching pad of a ballpark, so you got to hit, you got to score a lot of runs. Be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, really looking forward to seeing how all of that is going to play out tonight because it's been such a great season for West Virginia, especially after they went through a little bit of a dry spell there and then have really come on here in the month of May. I wanted to refamiliarize maybe some of our listeners if they're a little late to the party or they're not super familiar with some of the players that are on the team. West Virginia is full of great players. We talked about their pitching staff a little bit with Yale, Cole, and Korn, but they also have some great offensive players. Armani Guzman has had a great season. He has 30 stolen bases, and I think leads the Big 12 in that. And then Gavin Kelly, the catcher, he's batting nearly 400 and has 16 doubles. West Virginia has a lot of talent on this team, and that's one of the things that makes them so fun to watch.
And they do, and guys that can play a lot of different places. Gavin Kelly is splitting time. He's catching probably 2/3 of the games, but he also plays second. That helps keep him fresh. Doesn't wear down quite as much as catchers can at the end of the year. Paul Schoenfeld in center field has been a revelation defensively, and he is hitting the ball really well. You're getting guys like Sean Smith and Tyrus Hall that are starting to pound it a little bit more. They've helped West Virginia boost their power numbers, and I think that's the fun. There's not any obvious holes in this lineup. Now, you don't have people that are just crushing the ball all over the place and, hitting 15, 18 home runs like some teams have. But on the other hand, you can start a rally anywhere in this lineup. You can get 2 or 3 hits in a row. You can get a couple stolen bases, a sacrifice bunt, create some havoc on the base path. So you never kind of know what you're going to get, but usually you're going to get some things that are fun to watch.
TCU can be dangerous. They have a couple of really good offensive players of their own. Sawyer Stroh-Snyder is a projected first-round pick in the MLB draft. I think he leads he's somewhere in the Big 12 standings. He has 13 home runs. He leads the team in home runs anyway. Cole Kramer has their best contact hitter. He has a .322 batting average. You got to make sure that you account for some of their offensive players. And if you get into a position where maybe you are behind, they do have an elite closer on the team as well. Tanner Sakaposi, I'm not sure if I'm getting that name right, but he has under a 2 ERA and has played very well this year.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't a bad pick to have them as the preseason favorite. They had some injuries in the early going. They had 2 pitchers actually down for a fair part of the year. They've had a couple other guys that have not produced quite to the level they were expecting, but it seems like they're starting to round into form. They're 10-3 in their last 13 games. They got swept by Oklahoma State, which was a little bit of a surprise, but that's their only losses in their last 12 plus games. So it's definitely not anything that you can overlook or that you can expect West Virginia just to come in and roll up the wins that it needs.
Let's talk a little bit. There's been a lot of talk about seeding and everything going into this tournament. I want to make sure we talk about that just a little bit. The Big 12 tournament moves to a new venue this year, Surprise Stadium in Arizona, and with the new format, the top 4 seeds don't play until Friday. How much does that bye structure matter when we look at how West Virginia is structuring their pitching staff?
Well, it's actually the top 6 don't play until it's Thursday,
I'm sorry, 6.
Friday, Saturday. No, that's fine. They cut down the number of potential games for the top seeds in the tournament, and that really helps. That's important, especially as those teams are looking on to the NCAA tournament the next week. A lot of times teams have burnt out their arms when they've played 5, 6. I think one year there was even a 7-game stretch for a team. So, finishing in the top 6, which West Virginia's already locked up, they will only have to play at the most 3 games in the Big 12 tournament. Don't know who those matchups are going to be yet, of course, with this weekend's action still to go. But that's really important. Can't overemphasize that enough. I think that's going to be a big help for those teams that are finishing at the top of the league.
That's really incredible. Looking forward to how it all shakes out. And I was checking, and it looks like the Baseball America has WVU projected as a potential national seed, meaning they'd host a regional in Morgantown. That would be back-to-back regionals and now potentially hosting a super. We've talked about this. Every week you talk to Dave about this, but, football's been frankly a little down recently. Basketball's gone through some trouble recently. Certainly the women's basketball team has been one of the bright spots in West Virginia sports. They've been fantastic, but this baseball team is truly ascendant.
Outside of rifle, this is the best program at West Virginia right now, and don't mean to sell the women's basketball program short. They have done really well. They've, hit a little bit of a sticking point in the NCAAs, whereas the baseball team, this will be its third straight regional, and they've gone to 2 super regionals in a row, which, those things just aren't easy to do and unprecedented, when you were talking about West Virginia baseball 10 or 15 years ago. So, you just hope they can take advantage of some of these things, but they're definitely going to go to a regional, and I think they're in pretty good shape still to host. There's a few other battling things going on there, but if they can take care of business, win a couple this weekend, not get knocked out early in the Big 12 tournament, I think they've got a really good chance to make that happen.
Is this team built, assuming a good representation in the Big 12 tournament and relatively favorable seeding, maybe get to host one of these super regionals? Is this team built to go deep, to get to Omaha?
Man, we're really looking far down the road there.
It's very far, I know, but hey, why not? Why not?
Hey, yeah, heck yeah. Let's go ahead and take that path. I think so, just because I think the pitching is better. Not many teams at this point in the season would be able to say, okay, we're going to start a guy that's only started one game this year and not draw a lot of comment about it just because Ian Corn has pitched so well. So they've got 4 starters that I think you can rely on. They've got enough of a bullpen. I think they can fill out a little bit. Reese Bassinger coming back and looking really good in his last couple of outings. So, yeah, we talked about the batting order and the different ways they can score. But I think this team might have a little bit more pitching and a little bit deeper pitching than it has had in past seasons.
I know that I'm looking forward to how this goes. One thing that I really love is I have a lot of Mountaineer fans in my life who were never really big baseball fans before. I was always the baseball guy. So it's really nice to be bringing more people on board baseball, to be quite honest with you. The sport needs more fans.
Heck yeah, tell them welcome aboard. There's always room on the bandwagon.
That's absolutely true. I'll cut you loose in just a second, Kevin, because I know you got to go. But I know you're also a Reds fan. And how mad are you at a guy carrying a gun? They won today 15-1. I don't know if you saw that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Chase Burns pitched an outstanding game today. But how mad were you at that fan with the that interfered with the home run?
What are you doing, guy?
I know, right?
I'm not saying that you even have to kick him out, but you're hurting your team. Come on.
Yeah, you got to have some
your
awareness there, right? The guy's like decked out with Reds gear. He's got hats and jerseys and everything else on. That's a game-tying home run that you just disqualified, man.
Yeah, I would have bought him a $7 baseball to keep him from reaching over the fence and killing that hit.
100% for sure, man. That was so frustrating. It's a shame, too, because maybe they could have tied it and got last night and they won today. They could have won the series instead of lost it, but that's how baseball goes, man. That's how baseball goes.
I hope he enjoys whatever it was he got out of it.
Yeah, right. Kicked out. But, hopefully so. All right, Kevin, thanks a lot for your time. Enjoy the game, man, and we look forward to hearing from you when it's all over.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Coop.
Thanks a bunch. That's Kevin Kinder reporting live from the stadium today at the Kendrick Family Ballpark in Morgantown, where West Virginia is taking on TCU. Really a big series this weekend. I'm excited for it, if you can't tell. I love meaningful baseball, and I love that West Virginia is playing some right now. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll put some finishing touches on the remainder of the show. We'll only have a couple minutes left when we come back. Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to the Hotline on Metro News. We'll be back after this.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it. So I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer golf coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind.
And onions.
Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Listening to Metro News Hotline. I'm Dale Cooper. Thanks for tuning in. Just a couple of seconds here before we have to get away for the night. Wanted to give you an update in Major League Baseball. We were just talking to Kevin Kinder about the WVU baseball taking on TCU. Well, a couple of alum from WVU baseball on the field right now. The St. Louis Cardinals had just overtaken the Athletics, and it was J.J. Weatherholt who scored the go-ahead run. He was brought in by Jordan Walker double. That was in the top of the ninth inning, so they were down to their last at-bats, scoring that that go-ahead run. And then earlier in the contest, Victor Scott hit a home run, a solo shot. So the Mountaineers contributing for the St. Louis Cardinals. Pretty good stuff there as far as that goes. Couple of things I wanted to get out of here on. First of all, I think this is a little weird. Ryan, Paranormal Activity, familiar with it?
Yes.
So I had no idea that this was a thing. So the found footage horror franchise is heading to the stage. Paranormal Activity, a new story live on Broadway, begins August 14th at the August Wilson Theater with an opening night on September 15th. The limited run lasts 20 weeks. The production promises live illusions and effects designed to recreate the jump scares from the film.
I don't think it's going to be scary, but I am interested in the illusion aspect of it.
Me too.
How they can replicate like floating objects and the general chaos of the movie on a stage. I'm sure it's possible with some Broadway magic.
I'm technically interested in this. Honestly, yeah. I've been to Broadway shows. I've seen a handful of Broadway shows when I used to go to New York, and I'm always impressed with the productions.
I can't imagine how it would act out similar to like your typical like one or two or three act play, you know. But I do think that as like sort of like an exhibition or maybe like a shorter type of one-act play, I think it could work really well.
Yeah, I'm very interested in how that's going to look. I have no idea, but I'm very interested. Another thing that I thought that was a little bit curious is, it's not curious, it's just how things are moving. The Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show is switching networks. The 151st edition moves to Netflix under a new partnership, streaming globally in late January and early February. More than 3,000 dogs across 200 breeds compete over 3 days in New York City, with daytime judging from the Javits Center streaming live. Netflix is quietly becoming the home of many of these traditions, but I think that's interesting because the dog show is reran many times on cable as counter-programming to sporting events and stuff. And so does that mean that, and frankly, I watch it a lot because I like those dog shows. Does that mean that they're going to lose that counter-programming, or I wonder if Netflix would lease it in syndication somehow?
I don't know.
I don't think they will because they want people to come and stream it. There is no syndication off of that, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of interesting. That might be a bigger deal than what you might think. And then the last thing, this is also a Netflix story. Netflix is going bigger on football this year. A new 4-year deal runs through 2029-2030 season and adds 5 NFL games per year to the platform. The slate includes an international game in Australia during week 1, a Thanksgiving Eve game, and a late season January contest, 2 Christmas Day games, and the NFL Honors broadcast. Netflix has its door in with Christmas games last season, but now it has a full schedule. It's really strange. I remember when it was weird when the NFL went to Fox. It was like, oh, Fox, the 4th network is going to get the NFL. And now the NFL is on Netflix. Yeah. The place that mails DVDs has live football? What?
Yeah.
Oh, very strange. Okay, that's going to do it for us. We're going to take a break now. You're going to hear some commercials. We'll come back and wrap up the show before we get you ready for Sportsline after the top of the hour. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Hotline on Metro News. Metro News is the voice of West Virginia.
After my wife died, I felt like I lost everything, including my love of fishing. But one day, my granddaughter called, and I realized I still had a lot to look forward to. I got referred to a psychiatrist who explained depression can happen to anyone. Getting help doesn't make me weak. It makes me stronger. I just wish it made me better at fishing.
Mental health care is working for Diego. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post-9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing, to get the help you need,
to find peace. And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Moving Day, a walk for Parkinson's, is happening around the country. More than just a walk. Moving Day is a fun experience that unites the community in the fight against Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's doesn't stop, and neither will we. So let's get moving. Join the Parkinson's Foundation to learn more and register for an event in your area at movingdaywalk.org. That's movingdaywalk.org.
Well, now, that's going to do it for us. It is 5:59 on Metro News Hotline. Coming up is going to be Metro News Sports Line right around the corner. Mountaineers will be in action during that show, so you want to tune in for that. Obviously, you can also catch the Mountaineer baseball team live places too, but Sports Line will be talking about that, among other things. That's going to do it for us. Talk to you tomorrow on Hotline.
Hotline on the Metro News Network is presented by Salango Law, salangolaw.com. Hear Hotline weekdays from 3 until 6 on this Metro News station or wvmetronews.com. Visit the site or your favorite podcast service for past shows and features. This has been Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.